Okay, right. Gonna wait until Twitch shows me that we're live on Stream Manager. There we are. Bang. We're live. Gonna wait for one chatter before we intro. Come on. One non-Luke, non-Pred chatter. Waiting for one. Looking for one. There we are. Okay. Twitch tells me we have viewers. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the group stage Goon International. Tonight we have a real treat for you. We've got Badlads featuring some Discord favourites against Too Hot for Dota, featuring some Discord unfavourites, given that they are the unfavourables of the tournament. They said it themselves in the channel. You saw them. We all saw them with our own eyes. We again are coming to you from the mid lane. This time we have been kindly provided a desk, given that we have our union representative in Luke here. They have actually laid on a minor spread. There is some slight snacks and drinks available, but only for Luke. He's the only one under contract with the union. He's the only one paying dues. So the rest of us are being charged fees.
I'm an anti-union person, personally. I think that writers should stop striking. Like, who cares? And the actors too. They get paid enough,
Absolutely. Just a quick note to Luke and Pred. I cannot currently see Dota. I will need one of you to let me know when we are in the draft, please, so I can switch scenes.
Very impression of having a light on.
I've got a light on. I'm being lit. I've got my curtain closed. I'm softly and well lit. Come on, lads.
That jacket looks a lot nicer now. You got your light on.
I know.
It's almost like we spent 40 minutes trying to set this up, and then Luke refused to be on his mark and in uniform. So
it always is.
No, I went through like 3 different costume changes before we did this.
Well. I think.
Pred's been ready to go the whole time.
The Jessica Rabbit costume is the one you should have stayed with, Luke. That one really popped.
I should have got the bear costume out if you really wanted.
You could have. I could get the Jesus robes out.
You could.
Yeah. Maybe for the second game.
Anyway, back to the series we're covering tonight. Too Hot for Dota versus Badlads. So coming into this, we will have a brief look at the standings as we start. But just to say that Too Hot for Dota are coming into this on a slightly better streak than Badlads. Badlads going 0-2 in both their series last week against Goonfellas and Spherical, and Too Hot for Dota winning one and losing tying the second. But given their reputation from last year, I think Too Hot for Dota would consider that a loss, but I think they'll take the point. Good evening, gents in the chat. So Too Hot for Dota going 2-0 against Stinky's Holy Warriors and 1-1 tying Goonfellas, suggesting that Too Hot for Dota should be on to cleanly beat Badlads tonight, but we'll see what happens. What with Badlads being new to the tournament and Too Hot for Dota a returning team from last year. So Badlads are positions 1 through 5. Bird, Rocket, Hunter, Jesper, also known as He Who Hungers, Kxavic, and managed by Rocket. Player coach. My second series with a player coach. Interesting dynamic to see play out. And our manager for Too Hot for Dota is Commander Dirty. And shaping up again 1 through 5 we have Carl Morag-Tong, ScienceWhizBen, NPR, noted coward, signed from Live Laugh Love after he was Live Laugh Luton, my apologies, after he was released. Let me just allow that through auto mod for you. We have TheBastMaster on 4 and Zoey Bechamel, founder of Too Hot for Dota, on position 5. They are coming in from last year when they went 5-4 in their series, knocked out by Scipio's Helm Enjoyers. In the last 3 months, they have gone 3-1 as a team with a 75% win record. Gents, any favourites coming in?
I'll let my esteemed colleague go first.
I wasn't really listening.
Which team do you favour coming in?
Too Hot for Dota is like the more favourite team with their record.
But I personally like underdogs, like Rocky, in the first Rocky.
So you think Badlads might?
Yeah,
might just take a game.
At this level of Dota, anything is possible.
Oh, absolutely.
And
It's,
also,
it's
like I
part of
said,
why it's so fun to watch, right?
I do like underdogs like Rocky in Rocky 1 or Rambo in Rambo 1 when they were still underdogs. And afterwards, they just became big dogs. I don't know what the opposite of an underdog is.
That's that in this tournament. I would say that's Jeff and Mancaf, which are, I believe, the other group. Somebody to confirm.
Jeff and it's billionaires in the other group. Mancaf is in this group.
Mancaf is in this group. Ah, yes, Mancaf and Jeff could still meet again in one of the finals later on once we reach the knockout stages. But again,
So
neither of those teams are playing here tonight. We're not here to speak about them. Where do you think these teams' weaknesses and strengths lie? Well, what do you think where do you think Luke? Where do you think Too Hot for Dota could exploit Badlads this evening?
I think it's mostly on their. I will make sure I'm saying their name right. Badlads. So I think if I remember rightly, they did a switch of their lanes as well. Was it Badlads? I think did. So they switched some of their lanes around as well. I think that is the lobby.
That is the lobby up, so we should probably now join a channel.
Good. Join my one. You guys, please.
Let's join my one.
Pred got in there first, Luke. I'm so sorry.
Fine.
And also, we should make sure we have the correct audio stuff.
Yes, make sure it's team, not party.
Mine is all set from the other day.
So make sure it's team.
Wonderful. So what were you saying? Where do you feel Too Hot for Dota could exploit the weaknesses of Badlads? Which jugular do you think they're going for?
We can hear you.
Double, yeah, you're echoing, by the way. There.
Am I echoing double on stream or just to the two of you?
Just to the two of us. So
is it because you've not got mute co-broadcasters?
I have got mute co-broadcasters.
It's because we're not in the game yet, so it doesn't think we're co-broadcasters.
Fair enough. Is it muted? Is it echoing for everyone? Or is it just Amos? Because I don't hear Luke twice.
No, it's just him.
It will just be me because I've got a setting set wrong.
Right,
Pred,
1 second.
You've notably played with Kxavic before.
Yeah, I have played with Kxavic before, and
how do you think he's going to perform in this game?
Well, I think Kxavic is going to give it his all.
He's definitely going to give it something.
He is, Kxavic, he's not always the most consistent performer from my games with him. Although, to be fair, with my games with him, he is normally playing in games that are above his standard MMR. So he has got experience playing against players who are higher MMR than him. And I believe quite a lot of the Too Hot for Dota players are high MMR players. And normally, for a low MMR player, that could be frustrating. But Kxavic, he's used to that because he's played with me a lot. That's why you should join my stacks.
Pred stacks are great, mostly because you can get carried by Premier Position 1 2 Hero Noah Pred.
So I think with the
3 heroes.
Too Hot for Dota NPR actually strengthened them across Star.
Oh, Luke, you need to get
so you're saying that NPR to Too Hot for Dota strengthens Too Hot for Dota, while we saw Jeff go 1-1 the other day, rather than the 2-0 that they were known for in the group stages of last year. You're suggesting that NPR was the glue holding their 2-0s together.
I think so, because he just, you gave him a free, he could just run at people, just destroy people.
Well, I mean, on my notes here, he is listed as a coward. Do you think that plays into the tempo of... So, Zoey Bechamel, noted tempo hero player, does enjoy Pugner, will drop off after 20 minutes, which is about the space in which NPR begins to really come online. Do you think that plays well into the team dynamic that we have going into here?
Yeah, I think so. Going off what we see in that, yeah.
Allow...
another...
Pred is in chat. Let us just...
Is it still cutting out?
Manage Pred. How do I set that? You are cutting out ever so slightly, but not massively, Luke. Let me just sort Pred out. So, after... where's it gone? Roles Manager. after reaching 50 followers the other day, I am now able to hand out VIPs. Which Pred, as somebody who has previously bought me a beer, has successfully bought VIP in this chat. Please note, if you would like VIP, you can also buy me beer. I accept Deliveroo vouchers. And also, for £100, I will mod you. If you want my PayPal, just DM me on Discord.
And yes, Knock, I did just go for Dahlia. It should be better, by the way, now. You should be able to hear me properly.
Excellent, wonderful. So, we've discussed how MPR could potentially fit well into the lineup of 2 Hot for Dota and Kxavic's ability playing against those of much higher levels. And we have seen many turds being spammed for Bird in chat so far. We can hear the crowd loud and cheer. Loud and cheer, loud and clear, but I can see them cheering later. How much does it cost for a hug with a cheeky reach around? Separate rates, DM me later. We haven't particularly much discussed the rest of the lineup of Badlads here. With, I mean, we have Bird on position 1. Pred, as the person here to provide that particular insight, how do you think he's going to perform? What are you looking for from Bird in this game?
Just to pick a carry that carries the game and not pick a bad carry. So, for example, pick something like Gyrocopter, Sven, just good, reliable carries. And instead of
Bird is
taking some
3 according to
dumb
the
so
chat.
Bird and Hunter did a switch, I think.
Bird and Hunter have
Yeah.
switched.
Yeah,
As you
switched
can see
after
from
last-
our graphic, I am using the information from the website, which
It was,
means I would suggest that they should be disqualified for incorrectly registering their team.
How
But it's a
dare
good
you
thing.
do this?
It's a good thing that I'm not running anything to do with this tournament in that case.
So it got swapped after the podcast got released. A special of Rocket. They got promoted in that.
Mind of a Goon caught themselves a
Yes.
fantastic scoop on that they were swapping some positions there. That's what a get for Mind of a Goon. So we're talking about Hunter in our position 1. You were saying some heroes like Gyrocopter or Sven.
Yeah. Good heroes, they win games. You go on Dota Pro Tracker, they're carry heroes with lots of games and a high win rate. Whereas something like PA, most played carry on Dota Pro Tracker, but it's only got I don't have my glasses on, so you're gonna have to get close to the screen. A 48.6% win rate, so trash. Sven though and Jaro both have 52% win rates. That's Brexit win rates, and that's good.
It will take about 4 to 6 years to successfully materialize the win with that rate, though.
That is true. But it's an oven-ready win rate, and then it's an oven-ready carry.
Yes,
with
it is.
Jaro and Sven.
That is true.
Yeah.
We're
It's so-
currently waiting on one person.
We are, I believe. So, Sven has come and gone in terms of popularity. Do you feel that Sven is a viable carry in this bracket at the moment? Is it simple enough to pull off for these players?
Yeah, you just hit creeps. You just need to hit creeps. These players, they should know how to do that.
Should being the essential word there.
That is true. But it's quite simple hero. His laning isn't too poor. He can quickly go into the jungle to recover. And if he doesn't get pressured, at the 20-minute mark, he's going to roll up with a BKB, Echo Saber, Mask of Madness, and just murder all of you if you play it correctly. And as Master Sun said, of old, the expert in battle would first make himself invincible and then wait for the enemy to expose his vulnerability. Invincibility depends on oneself. Vulnerability lies with the enemy. Therefore, the expert in battle can make himself invincible but cannot guarantee for certain the vulnerability of the enemy. Hence, it is said, victory can be anticipated, but it cannot be forced.
Indeed. Yes, the chat reviling the Sun Tzu, getting flashbacks to prior stacks with Pred.
I think at the moment, carry players, like, the thing is, like, we have PA, we have Ricky in the pool, like, stuff like this is really strong as well at lower MMR. Because people don't have to deal with invisibility, stuff like that.
Well, I remember watching one of the early GTI games and Rookie got picked and it didn't do very well because it is a weak laner. So I think if you're going to pick Rookie, you need to know what your offlane matchup is, or at least have picked a strong +5
Maybe
so you
like
can
Witch
get the
Doctor.
good lane. Yeah, Witch Doctor.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the meta and the draft, we've seen in a few games previously and from in-houses, a game can be won or lost in the draft. And even those that are lost in the draft can be won again by the winning drafters throwing. Do you think this first game coming up will be won or lost in the draft? Do we think they are evenly matched draft? Who are the drafters for these teams? Do we know?
I think Zoey is drafter for 2. I don't know who's bad. I think it's Jesper is Badlads.
I would think it would be. He is looking at
Hungry.
that team. Well, yes, he does hunger. Looking at a quick glance at that team, I do believe Jesper is the more skilled of the players. He is playing from position 4, typically, as we've seen historically in Pro Dota over the last 10 or so years. The drafter tends to be in one of those two support positions. In looking to set up the plays, you're looking to set up the game before you even hear the horn.
So, Badlads is actually a formation of Tommy's Bad Boys from last year.
Ah, yes.
So, yes, they've got, I think, 3 of the core, like 3 of the old members, with Jesper, who was also their manager, coming into play, and they
playing this year.
As, yes, and Bommy went to be a just as their coach /
Well, so as we can see on our graphics at the moment, Rucket is player coach for Badlads. He is fulfilling a dual role, whereas Too Hot for Dota have Commander Dirty. As we know, coaches are allowed during the draft phase, but not during the game. Is having that 6th pair of eyes helpful, or is a further dissenting voice going to tip the scales in the favour of Badlads?
Well, as someone who is a coach for a team,
who are playing tonight, I believe, Pred.
Yeah, well,
we're sorry, Pred.
I think it depends on the coach and it depends on the team and the matchup. Because sometimes if your team's, everybody outfavored in the game, there's only so much you can say to help them out. But if it's a close game, a few wise words from your coach, maybe telling them what to do for the first blood, the first rune, that could snowball into a victory.
Absolutely. Now we are still waiting for a player here. We are 10. Shall we briefly have a look at the standings as they were at the end of last week? We have them now live on screen. They are slightly too small for me to see from here, unfortunately. We may see Luke run out of the room. That would be what a treat for us tonight. I see. Luke has run away. Any amount of monster energy is too much monster energy for Luke at this point. I'm surprised he's not been medically recommended to stop. Pred muted ? Another chatter to confirm, please. Can only hear yes. I can hear you, but that doesn't mean that they can hear you. I'm not sure. There we go. Pred, please tell us about how much monster energy Luke has consumed.
Well, Luke has actually consumed enough monster energy to kill the entire population of the Isle of Wight thrice over. Quite impressive, honestly.
It is deeply impressive.
And Luke, I have a quote for you about the Wasp. Even where your troops are in the most desperate straits, they will have no fear, and with nowhere else to turn, they will stand firm. So stop being a pussy about a little wasp.
I hate wasps. It was quite big, actually.
Oh, it was quite big. Ooh.
I hate wasps.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kill it.
So, as we can see on screen now, we have the standings as they were heading into this week 2. We are on Wednesday, but I believe there were no games played on Monday. There were a few played yesterday. I am waiting for one of our producers to let us know how those have affected the standings. But at the moment, in the relegation zones, we have teams whose names I can't actually read on the OBS preview, which is great.
So, what are you talking about? The teams that are in red?
We're talking about the standings broadly overall while we've got some time to fill.
So, in Group A, we have at the moment Hooligans, Ice Shitters in joint bottom.
Hooligans and Ice Shitters are in potential relegation.
Correct. And on Group B side, at the moment, we have Badlads on 0-6. We have George Foreman plus Grill on 0-4.
Badlands playing their series yesterday and going 0-2 also. This tells us all we need to know, I believe, about this team going in. We spoke previously about how Too Hot for Dota could run away with all 3 points. But we are talking about these teams in the relegation. So Badlads and George Foreman plus Grill. I believe there was some discussion on our companion podcast about how they are primarily a turbo stack these days.
What, George Foreman and Grill?
George Foreman and Grill are primarily a turbo stack these days in that their adjustment to proper Dota with proper timings, but also proper drafting.
So I don't know. This is just going to be the bottom of the tables at the moment. Both Hooligans and Ice Shitters and George Foreman plus Grill and Badlads. They're going to be highly contested games, I feel like. But on the side of Group A, we already had Hooligans versus Ice Shitters.
Yes.
We already had their matchup against each other, and they drew. So I think, like, at the moment, with how things are going, we're going to have them in a tiebreaker match, hopefully, against each other again, for who's being relegated.
I would love to see a tiebreaker. As we know, tiebreakers in this tournament are not settled by the traditional means. A tiebreaker is to be settled by in any way other than a standard game of Dota. Were the teams to choose to do 5v5 rock, paper, scissors, they could. If they wanted to do a CSGO against each other, they could. Or any of the slightly wacky versions of Dota, such as all random deathmatch or ability draft, are allowable from what I understand, but standard matches of Dota are not permitted as tiebreakers.
I think rock, paper, scissors, because for the longest time, rock, paper, scissors, it wasn't a very balanced game.
Indeed.
By the way,
I believe we have our final player arriving, and we are now onto the coin flip. Luke, could you reveal the results of the coin flip to us?
We are still waiting. So first pick for Badlads, and Radiant for Too Hot for Dota.
Ooh, this could be a juicy one coming in tonight.
I think we should be getting underway in a second.
We should be getting underway shortly.
They're going into their team channels right now.
They are going into team
channels. Here we go.
And we are into the game, I believe, which means it is time for us to transition into our draft screen. And there we are. Wonderful. Could one of you gents please speak?
Yes.
Hello.
Excellent. Wonderful. Stream to confirm that they can hear me once.
And do the players from these teams know each other very well? Because know the other, know yourself, and the victory will not be at risk.
Where audio indeed. There we go, that should do it.
Are we able to be heard now?
Can you hear us?
Are we alone now?
Oh, wrong one. Wonderful. So.
Okay, so we've had the normal H Prophet ban, Warlock. We should probably see the Witch Doctor ban here.
Indeed.
You'd assume so, or something like Gyrocopter. Oh, there it is.
There's
That's the
Gyro.
Gyrocopter ban. That is the carry named by our high-level player insight from Pred.
Hmm.
And we're seeing an OD ban here
So
from
that is a
Badlads.
Hmm.
That's a ScienceWhizBen targeted ban.
Targeted bans indeed.
By a robot.
No, Luke, you're a human.
Now that we are
You know this
into
by now.
now that we're into the game, it is time to crack a beer, I believe.
And there's the Witch Doctor ban.
Oh, Witch Doctor. Now, I am the noted idiot in this booth this evening. I've not had much chance to play DotA over that. Well, anyway, but I've also not had hearing LDC and Pred.
Need to go and
twice.
save us.
There we go.
Yeah, well, that's not our problem,
You
Schmupster.
should now only hear them
Right.
once. Now, I've not had much chance to play DotA over the last 6 or 7 months. How viable is Witch Doctor in this current meta?
Witch Doctor is very strong.
Very strong.
Yes, he is like one of the top support.
Oh, and
So, like-
Dawnbreaker and Nightstalker have just been banned 2 strong heroes as well.
So the Nightstalker.
Now, there was a discussion the other day among some of the peanut gallery and non-on-screen punditry about how Dawnbreaker actually is an L hero for the goons. Is banning Dawnbreaker instead of letting it through for the enemy team potentially a bad move here?
Well, you're overthinking it, because if you let it through and lose, you look like an idiot. Whereas if you ban it, you don't have to worry about it.
However, so far, both times Dawnbreaker has been picked, the team that picked it has lost.
So
But that could also depend on team matchups too. There's
there's
a
also-
lot to go on by that.
There's
Excellent.
been 10 games of only one of them have been won.
Indeed. Now, we are seeing our first picks from the teams here. We are seeing Vengeful Spirit and Treant Protector coming out
Both
for
very-
the teams.
Both really strong,
Hmm.
like actually support. Like Venge's quite high up there now.
True. I want this to be a Venge carry.
You want this to be a Venge carrier?
It
Yeah,
could
'cause
be,
they-
although, given the propensity for the goons to pick first their positions 4 and 5, I would suggest that these are both being played as support. Although they could get weird with it and put Treant 3
True.
potentially.
And Trent is a strong hero because there's lots of trees around the map, and Trent plays well in the trees. And know the ground, know the natural conditions, and the victory can be total. Those are wise words from Sun Tzu from his Art of War.
We are seeing a few more bans coming out. We are seeing Tidehunter banned for Too Hot for Dota, and both Necro and Slardar banned by Badlads.
So
And Slardar minus armor. So I'm surprised
Sorry.
actually the Badlads banned that themselves because they got Venge. We could work with it. But the Necro ban makes sense. He's an annoying hero to play with, to play against even. You don't want to deal with
And here we
Necro.
are, the picks, first 2 picks being your supports. We have Treant Protector and Lion here for Too Hot for Dota.
so that's
Personally,
a,
I am a Lion enjoyer.
That's a Zoey Lion. So that is your position 4 and position 5 sorted.
Yes.
And-
Do we believe that Bird is the sort of player that would want a Treant Protector 3? We have seen a Phantom Assassin, a second choice carry here for Badlads. Pred, you noted earlier about how you think Phantom Assassin is a trash tier carry.
I wouldn't go as far as saying it's trash. I just think second picking it is quite bold because there are quite a few heroes that you can use to counter pick PA, and you've used a lot of your bans so far.
I kind of would like to see like maybe a Primal Beast again here. Primal Beast mid.
And Primal
Or-
Beast is quite good versus PA because you get that Blade Mail build, PA can't touch you for a while, and you're strong early game, you can just walk into the PA killer.
Yeah, maybe like you can even take the Primal Beast on the off lane as well to run with that Treant. And that'd be quite a dashing combo.
Yeah. And you know your matchup's going to be over PA Venge or PA CM. You know your lane matchup now. You can pick a free which will crush them along with a tree or a lion.
Absolutely.
I know we also we know NPR and ScienceWhizBen both enjoy Primal Beast.
Indeed.
The
We are
Lycan.
seeing a
Lycan.
Lycan come out here for this team, though. Is this a flex pick hero, or do we think this is being put into a particular position for this team?
So Lycan historically can be played mid, safe lane, or off lane, so it could potentially be flexed. I don't know their players are well enough to know there's a Lycan spammer amongst them, but it has the potential to be.
Now, it has
also,
been noted by our audience that we see Badlads with 3 squishy blue heroes. Do we believe that Badlads could be leaning... They've gone 0-6 so far. Are they embracing it and going all squishy blue heroes?
and there's the Primal Beast.
It's the Primal Beast.
Yes,
It's here. If they go for another squishy blue hero, I believe that could be
I-
them done for.
I want to see a Timbersaw maybe from Badlads.
Timbersaw, yeah, be alright.
Just something tanky that can get in the front.
Yeah,
create
at the,
some
at the
space,
moment
gives-
there's not much of damage absorption for them in these team fights. From what it looks like, they are looking to pick off a few heroes and overwhelm with numbers primarily for Badlads, whereas Too Hot for Dota are ready to overwhelm with numbers without the pickoffs.
Trying to just think here. Would you pick? Do you leave your mid lane to last, or do you pick your mid lane here now in the Badlands?
Well, I'm hearing that this is an NPR Lycan, most likely.
Yes, and a ScienceWhizBen Primal Beast. So,
Which suggests that Too Hot for Dota have left their carry for last. And Badlads, we are looking for both our 3 and our mid lane.
Yeah.
We do have another phase of bans after this. Oh, here is our pick.
Underlord.
And an Underlord, which means that Badlads have left their mid hero for last.
So there's the Ursa ban.
The Underlord gives you some, D push against the Lycan who's going to be pushing, and it is a tanky frontliner, which is what they do need at the moment. But
that's what was missing from them. Now, Rocket as our mid laner, what heroes do we believe that he's looking for here?
Trying to think. Zeus is too squishy this game. I feel like most of the traditional mid laners are quite squishy against this lineup. But the problem is you're against a Primal Beast mid. You know your mid matchup. Like the ones that what I know do good, like Pangolier does alright against them. The problem is you're gonna get run at a lot with this Primal Beast.
Absolutely.
The Primal Beast loves running at you. So,
when Primal Beast runs, is that swappable by Venge? Does it cancel the run?
I think because it can be stunned, well not stunned, but Crystal Maiden's Frostbite
yeah,
can stun him, lock him in place, snare.
So potentially this game, are we looking to see the Primal Beast stunned, swapped, or frostbitten out of its run? Is that a play we should be looking out for, or are these players not skillful enough to pull it off?
I don't know.
Only time will tell.
It is Kxavic on the CM as well. So
how many beers deep is he?
I don't know. You might have to ask him.
You never know.
We're
seeing from one of our draft analysts in chat here calling out for a Void Spirit for one of the teams, I'm assuming Badlads, and suggesting Alk for Too Hot for Dota. How do we feel, Alchemist? Kara does play Alchemist.
Yeah.
Oh, this could be a very spicy and fighty team for Too Hot for Dota
and
indeed.
Actually, if they pick Alk, I don't think Badlads have the damage to kill an Alk for a long time.
I don't think Badlads have the damage to successfully kill an Alk, a Primal Beast, and a Lycan until far too late in this game, honestly.
So they will have to play quite defensively. However, being invincible lies with defense, and the vulnerability of the enemy comes with the attack.
I can't wait for your children to hear The Art of War read to them as a bedtime story before 5 years old, Pred. I look forward to these days.
I don't know what they pick mid here. They're talking about there must be. I don't know how good is Ember against the Primal mid.
Well, the problem is with Spirit Heroes, there's a lion with that instant hex disable, something that Spirit Heroes don't like.
Yes,
Oh,
although
and then-
there is a significantly higher amount of lockdown innately on this Badlads team between Pit, Frostbite, Swap, and Magic Missile, and to a minor extent, Crystal. Not is it Crystal Nova, which is Crystal Maiden's Q?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
so
Crystal
here's-
Nova.
Oh,
Oh, Queen of Pain for
So this
Badlads.
this is your escape from the primal.
and it's also another squishy blue hero, which is what they were going for until the
It is,
Underlords.
yes. Underlord did ruin the squishy blue hero draft, although there is an argument to be made for Queen of Pain falling into that squishy red hero selection that Lion also occupies. They kind of both occupy that both and neither space.
I don't know what we like to see as a carry here.
I honestly think they could pick almost any carry here, and the other four heroes have won them enough of the game that they could pick a carry that goes early or a carry that goes late. If they pick an early carry, they win quickly. If not, they begin to carry that momentum through into the late game when their carry comes online.
As Smupster is saying in chat, he would love to see an out.
He would love to see an ALK from our resident draft analyst in chat, who said that these are the most meta picks and bans seen so far in the GOO International. Do you gents believe that's true? Are these the most meta picks and bans?
Monkey King is still in the pool, and Monkey King could be quite strong here, actually. It'll ruin Underlord's life. And the bonus armor from the ult means it's quite hard for PA to kill a Monkey King too.
Here we go. An ALK. It was predicted. Or was it stream sniped? We will never tell. And here we see them locking in, ready to go to the game. Wonderful. Now, are we ready, gents?
I think we are.
Let me just transition from desking to... I really need to get my spare phone and take a picture of the setup of what this looks like for those viewing at home so they can see how
come around
much
yours,
of...
take a pic for you.
Well, you could. I did ask if you wanted anything for the shop when I was going past yours, and you ignored me.
I wasn't ignoring you. I was washing my hair at the time. Because this hair, it's quite long, needs to be washed. And it takes a while to wash it too. And I also had to condition it as well. I want it to stay nice and luscious.
Well, you are appearing on camera this evening, so I don't blame you at all, sir.
We're allowed to sit there now.
Now, Shmupster in the chat is asking who the fuck is Sun Tzu. Now, if you don't know who Sun Tzu is, he is the person that invented war. And then he wrote a book on it called The Art of War, telling everyone else how to do war as well. Which I think, as a future person, I do quite like it because I can then read the book and learn how to do war. But as, at the time, quite dumb, giving away your secrets. He was sharing his strats, something that these teams haven't been doing because they've been keeping their strats quite close to their chest.
Close to the chest, indeed. And here we go. Let's get into it, gents. Let's put the overlay on ever so slightly early, but this is not a high quality tournament of plays. We've already had at the highest quality of production we're going to see.
So do we start with Radiant side?
There we go. Fantastic, wonderful.
On the Radiant side.
Radiant side. Oh, is somebody seizing control of the camera? What's going on here? I appear to have lost sound from Luke and Pred.
We are still here.
Oh, Luke, you're Do you have a
Sorry.
like BFF?
Sorry.
All right. Well,
Press the button.
it looks like they're going to be fighting over the bot rune.
I also keep seeing 2 cursors in Dota. I cannot successfully control.
You need to quit Dota and rejoin.
Oh, wonderful.
Do it after the 30 seconds.
Nope, I'm doing it now.
Okay.
Well, I'll just tell you guys what's happening. So, it looks like they're going to be fighting over both river runes, both teams.
So we're having Dire
This
side
is
here.
this is the radio edition.
So,
So that's-
there's a fight over the bottom river rune at the moment. And it looks like
Oh, they're
Radiant
just
are
backing
securing
away.
it.
They're just
Radiant are
backing away,
securing
yeah.
it.
But it's going to be a 2-2 rune ratio.
Hello, and if you're just tuning in, this is the Goonternational radio that you can hear. We will be bringing the entire game to you with audio commentary only.
Audio commentary only.
Okay.
And we should, with any luck, we should be good to go again.
So as we talked about, we have the Zoey Bechamel on Lion, the NPR on the Lycan, the ScienceWhizBen on the PB, aka Primal Beast. We have the TheBastMaster on Tree Detector, and we have Kara on the Alchemist.
And don't forget to put last it's nice for the stream, Amos.
Indeed. I actually know the hotkey for that.
And on the Dire side, we have Kxavic on the CM, Hunter on the PA. The Quap is played by Rucket. The Underlord is played by Bird, and He Who Hungers plays the Vengeful Spirit.
Please remember to spam this turd to pray for Bird this evening, ladies and gents.
The Primal Beast has been harassed quite a lot in this mid lane already. But the Rockets...
We are seeing Rocket begin to take the lead with the last hitting and denying.
Oh. So far, quite a lot of denies across the boards. If you look at the denies on Birdie, he's got 4. NPR also has 4 denies.
This is I
Everyone's
feel like
killing
this is
their
going
own.
to be a healthy game for denies this evening.
And there's also 4 denies on the Treant Protector too. Everyone's killing their own.
We're seeing Kxavic in the top lane here successfully
Humongous
attempting a
having a
pull.
fight.
Successfully attempting having a pull. Fighting in the bottom lane could be first blood here, but I think there is a little bit too much caution being exercised if we're looking for excitement in this lane here.
Sorry, I've got something in my finger.
Oh,
That's your
dear,
nail.
Something.
No, I got stung, but not by that wasp, but something else.
Insects hate Luke.
They
The
really
reason-
do it though.
Heard it
I
here
think
first,
the reason
kids.
for that is all the monster energy in your blood is so much sugar and stuff. They can smell it and they think it's nectar, and they think, "Oh, gotta get that sweet nectar." And they should.
think
Now,
I'm- you
Luke,
think
are
I'm
you
full of
a
nectar?
Monster Energy purist, or are there other energy drinks that take your fancy from time to time?
I currently was drinking a Mountain Dew earlier, so...
Well,
Well,
I
I
don't
don't
believe
think that
Mountain Dew is
counts.
considered an energy drink in the UK.
Yeah, I think
I've got,
it's
I've got a few
considered
cans
a
of Red Bull on
soda.
the desk right now as well. So,
Yeah,
you know.
although
Are they
Although-
empty though?
Yes, they are empty. I have drunk them.
I believe we've played this game
And-
before. Luke, how many empty vessels are currently on your desk?
and how
Only
long have they been there
six,
for?
6 and like 2 days.
6 in 2 days is a fair few, Luke.
And actually, something else I learned about Luke during Berlin is Luke actually can't drink water. If you try and get him to drink water, it's like trying to get a rabies person to drink water. Like they just can't. He just can't. Like
I
guess-
turn into a gremlin if I just
Yeah.
drink water.
Like he's got hydrophobia like a rabies patient. I'm not joking. If you meet Luke in real life, try and get him to drink a pot of water, he'll get close to his mouth and he'll start shaking and you just can't get it there, and he just like throws it away.
We're seeing Bird begin to take the lead for the last hits and denies here, winning ever so slightly on denies, but
And Primal Beast goes on the quad
Primal
mid.
Beast, going in.
But
No,
the
Pop
thing
can always
is-
just
no
blink
deep
away.
engagement, however.
So the thing with Rocket at the moment, he has no mana. So at the moment he will suffer in
Oh,
the
they
souls with
are.
this mana.
Bombing's
And
Bad
they're
Boys
going.
are moving in. Sorry, Badlads are moving in on NPR in the top lane here.
We've also got the bot lane.
Oh,
The
Mango's
Bassmaster
We
also
see a
took a lot
stun
of damage
coming out
as well.
on Hunter, moving in on
This
NPR. We
could be
could
first
see
blood.
first blood here. This
And
is
first
first
blood
blood
to
in the
Hunter!
top lane.
Nice. That's what PA wants. PA wants to get the
Nice and
treads
juicy
finished.
farm, yeah.
PA is going for a fighting build in this lane instead of just going Battle Fury Rush. They've got Blightstone and a building skill and going to be going treads to try and get some kills in this lane. So that first blood, the extra gold they're going to get from that is going to be very nice for them.
I feel
NPR
like this top
TPing back
lane,
in.
this top lane was quite a fighty lane with the fact of you got Lion and you got the Slyken. It is, quite a fighty lane in that way.
Yeah. And
Primal Beast has been pushed out again, but Rocket has no more mana to spam spells to knock him out of lane.
although it has got the Arcane Aura from CM as an extra 0.4 mana regeneration. Might not sound like much, but can be the difference between getting an extra spell off. And an extra spell off can either save Rocket's life with a blink or cause another spell to go off, kill the Primal Beast.
Both of our mid lane heroes here do have their bottles already as well. So let's watch out for those
And,
runes with power runes.
either-
Do power runes still begin at 6 minutes?
They
Still
do,
at 6
and,
minutes, correct.
and neither of them have rebought a Observer Ward for the mid lane, so they're not going to know where it spawns, so they're going to have to guess.
Although, do you think we will see a rotation from either of these teams to secure a mid rune?
At the moment, they seem to be focusing on their own lanes, trying to secure them, so it doesn't look like it, and yet they're not going for the lane. So if it's bot, Rocket's got this. If it's top,
Here we go, we are-
ScienceWhizBen might get it. But there's also the blink from Co-op 2, which could also secure it. So
It
it's
is top and an invis
and-
rune, which means I believe ScienceWhizBen is going to miss this. Rocket is
Rocketman
moving
is going to
better
blink
for it.
hopefully.
We
Yep,
should see the blink here.
Oh,
Nope,
why
he is
did he
just
blink?
leaving it to ScienceWhizBen to
He
refill the
could have
bottle.
blinked. Yeah, he could have blinked for that, and he
Yeah.
would have still
Chose
got
to
it. And I
blink
don't think he would have
away.
died. But then I guess ScienceWhizBen now has the ultimate.
and an Invis rune.
Although if we'd
And
seen it
a
blink in and
trio.
bottle, it was an invis rune. You would have been protected.
But I guess he didn't know at the time what the rune was, but still, I feel like it's a bit of a misplay. Also, not rebuying an Observer Wards until after the rune has spawned. It's a bit of a mistake. They always, as a mid player, want to rebuy your Observer Ward about 5 minutes in, so you can place it so you have vision on one of the runes, so you know where it spawns.
Fantastic. We do now see the treads on this PA, and no boots so far for the Crystal Maiden. Queued up for the full one first. And now the Battle Fury is coming out for PA, however.
So it is a 1-for-1 trade on XP runes. Both Radiant and Dire both got their XP runes, or the Wizzy runes. Primal Beast seems to be going top here.
And it's an Invis rune, so they won't
Invis.
see him. Now,
Hopefully
probably should be
Rocket
calling
is
this because...
probably is definitely calling it.
And actually, there is a Sentry Ward that he is going to be walking over on ScienceWhizBen.
So they should know.
Well, they don't have an Observer Ward, and now he's outside of the range for it.
They are lining up, and we see the Hex come out, and now the run and a stun, and this is a dead Kxavic on Crystal Maiden. Are they looking
he's gonna
for
go for more?
No, they are
He was thinking it.
disengaging. He wanted to, but the rest of the team... NPR, again, noted coward here in the top lane, does not want to go for more.
So overall, it's extra gold on the board.
It is.
Or the
Rocket
Primal
blinking
Beast,
to the
so if you
arcane.
look at
ScienceWhizBen getting ready to run, but missing Rocket here,
Oh, and Arcane Rune picks up a Rocket.
which could be potentially powerful. Arcane
Could
Rune
be a dead
used.
Primal, but
Although Primal Beast, with
Primal
tree
Beast
armor,
is very tanky as well.
especially with tree armor too,
Mm-hmm.
this Primal is going to be very hard to kill.
Ooh, a
Yeah,
basilisk.
I still don't mind this
Oh,
lane
and
of.
stack farming by Alchemist in the bot lane. There's farming some.
Oh,
look there.
sounds fantastic. Sorry, I've just
So-
had some dinner handed to me.
Well, what do you have?
It was going to be gnocchi, but we forgot to get some when we were at the co-op in Ocean Village. Despite the fact that that's basically what we went for. So it's tagliatelle in a broccoli sauce with peas and fresh mozzarella.
Mhm. Very nice.
Does sound very nice.
It is lovely.
This bot lane, like, I don't think we see any. Oh my voice! I don't think we see any kill potential down here in this bot lane at all.
Not now. I think we have missed the moment for the kill potential.
But
I think there is going to be a fair few skirmishes occurring.
I think the Quap needs to start ganging soon. My voice, what the hell was wrong with it?
Yeah,
We do have a level 8 Quap ultimate online. Bottle now empty. Moving and looking to secure another rune, getting that.
Yeah, they had an arcane rune and they didn't do anything with it, which was like a bit of a
I
misplay
think
there.
they're waiting for the next power rune, and then if they get the power rune, they will go. Oh, they're going.
Looks like we're moving to the bounty rune, which.
Bounty rune.
How do you feel about getting the bounty rune for the gank?
It looks like
They're just getting it for mana.
They're not even gonna bother ganking with it. But how do you feel about
children?
Children and insta pop. That must be a misclick, I assume, because no reason you would do that.
No, we saw the blink in. I think there is a hope for a fight and a kill on the Primal Beast here.
Yeah,
but I don't think the Pop alone has the kill on Primal Beast.
Yeah.
Rucketman is hiding. Blood grenade used by Bass. Bird's taking a lot of damage here.
We see this Underlord
dying. TP out?
Attempting,
No.
but it isn't going to be successful. We've seen the ult popped on the Alchemist, but not looking to follow up hard. But they are moving to go in on Hunter in top lane here. And that's a stun. The suck. And no finger from Zoey Bechamel here. The finger was previously used. Oh, I missed that.
And Kara gets a kill onto He Who Hungers. And our Rocket TP's in, but doesn't get a kill on ScienceWhizBen.
Well, this is bad.
This isn't looking good.
After bad event for the Badlads.
And Rocket is TPing out, returning to the mid lane to farm for now. Let's have a look at our net worth. As expected, Alchemist is beginning to run away with it. 1.2 net worth, 1.2 thousand gold more net worth than the next closest hero, which is the Lycan. Now let's have a look at this Lycan's items here. We have a Helm of the Dominator already coming out and queuing up, ready for our Vlad's offering.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So I think so now they're switching lanes. The PA has gone down bot lane. I also don't know how I feel about the Battle Fury build on PA at the moment.
I think
feel
you
like
have to this game.
This game, yeah, probably. But I think in general, if you don't have a great lane, I think you just go Deso first item.
True, but this game, you're against Alchemist. If you don't get it, you're going to fall so far behind the network.
You cannot outfarm an Alchemist, especially not if you go for the Deso build, I think.
So the Alchemist is going Radiance into a Boots of Travel build.
Potentially workable. Although again, too hot for Dota are. This is a very front-footed
and
team.
Rucketman mid with a rotation from Zoey.
And another finger was not used. Fingers back up in 16 seconds.
Yeah.
So we could possibly see another kill with finger up.
And it seems like too hot for Dota have the Badlads number and they know what they're doing. And he who knows the enemy and himself will never in 100 battles be at risk.
This is a further Sun Tzuism coming out from Pred here.
He's pulling out the book right now.
By the end of the evening, we may hear the entire Art of War. Keep your ears peeled. Every time we hear an Art of War, I would love to see another.
Every time I do an Art of War quote, you gotta take a shot.
That's the one. Unfortunately, the closest thing I have in my house that is shotable is port, which I have no intention of opening this evening.
I have a lot of rum, but
I
will
have
not be shot in that.
a lot of vodka. I've still got a bit of vodka left in a bottle I bought at the GC3 in Berlin.
Oh, very nice.
I miss Berlin already.
We're seeing a fantastic question coming out from chat here, which I'll refer to the two of you knowing slightly more about the game than me. If you run a Phoenix Chen support duo, is that Sun Tzu?
Do I have mod privileges?
I have mod privileges.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Nah, the time of that snake. Hey, that pun is allowed, I think. And the Wizzy rune on Dire's side got stolen by the Bassmaster.
Let me be very clear, this channel is not only puns allowed, it is puns encouraged.
Freddy's looking very angry right now.
I am livid.
We are a subsidiary of the Union.
And like I said earlier, now I actually like to highlight something in this game. If you click on Hunter and his PA builder, he's doing something wrong. If you look at every single high-level PA, what they do is they get 3 points in Stifling Dagger, and then max Phantom Strike after they've done that. If you click on Hunter, you see he's got 4 points in Stifling Dagger.
The NPR got stopped.
We see a lockdown here.
NPR is dead. That is a kill back for Badlads.
And about the thing on PA, you want to max out the Phantom Strike after you've got 3 points in Dagger, because it really speeds up your farming speed. Because that extra point in Dagger compared to an extra point in Phantom Strike's better every time.
Let's follow Jasper for a minute here while I just finish my dinner quickly. Luke, I'll take your mod privileges away if you start banning puns.
No, I'm not going to ban anyone.
And the Radiance is on the courier for the Alchemist, so that's out. The Radiance can play a basically at the 15-minute mark, whereas PA is still farming the Battle Fury. They do actually have enough money now for the Cornucopia, and they're about 200 gold of finishing the Battle Fury. So
that is the Radiance as well on the Alchemist now. So that is the power spike with
they're
now
going on
here.
Bird mid, and Bird does not have mana to use the mechanism. So
And there goes the finger.
Yep.
Finger used.
Yeah.
So that's the second stack.
Second stack. That's an extra 80 bonus damage.
And the bug coming out by Bird.
Okay. And that is Battle Fury Gold now on PA, and it should be heading on the Courier. So that will be a, when it gets arrives on the Courier, about a 17-minute Battle Fury. So
I don't mind that. That's not too bad. You could have seen better, but
We see 4 Radiant heroes shaping up. They are smoked, moving up into the top lane. NPR is not smoked. Alchemist is joining the fight. So this is all 5 of them now looking for the PA, moving in towards this tower. ScienceWhizBen on Primal Beast pops the smoke, finding the PA, pings. Lion and Treant Protector are following up Hex, and that is a dead PA. This is 3 heroes moving in, 4 heroes moving in towards the tower. We see Acid Spray down, but we are seeing a 4-hero response in the opposing safe lane from Badlads.
Well, they trade in both.
Nobody to kill.
We are seeing a TP out from Primal Beast. Will we see any more TPs here?
We might see a portal, maybe. I think they could kill ScienceWhizBen if
I think they could if they realise that he is the only one here, but we see Kxavic moving away, and we see only... Oh, we are still 4 heroes here. They do take the tower, although 2 DotA have begun poking the tier 2. The portal is opened.
Oh, ScienceWhizBen's going through the portal.
Oh, he stops?
Oh, he stopped. He could have got Bird there, but I guess they don't actually have vision on him, so... Yeah. Makes sense why he cancelled that.
Don't.
Oh, a line drawn on the map.
A line drawn on the map. They know where they want to be. They know where they want to be looking.
Kara drew that map.
Oh, I don't like this on Hunter. He's finished his Battle Fury. Instead of going to the triangle, he's going back to the top lane. PA can very easily farm triangle stacks with Blur, because when you blur, the creeps just do not react, so you can just hit them to your heart's content.
Kara is calling out, looking to go hunting in this bottom part of the map. ScienceWhizBen moving up into the triangle.
And because of this top move, he's now missed the timing to farm the stack safely, and it's now going to be stolen.
Successfully taken by 2 DotA.
Yeah, if he respawned, went straight there, he would have had time to farm that. Now, that's extra gold heading towards the Radiant. See, when you make stacks, you have to farm them early, otherwise you risk your map being invaded and those stacks being stolen.
Stacks being stolen is not fun at all. No. This is going to be a dead rocket here.
Yes, it is, and they are now pushing beyond the tower, looking to secure the space, ready to take a tier 2, but it is fortified by Badlads.
And actually, if you have a look, that's a third thing stack, an extra 120 bonus damage. And against 4 squishy blue heroes, that 120 damage is going to do a lot.
Especially at this early level of Finger.
that's the first
We
tier
see
2
600 damage to 120. You, with 3 stacks, you essentially have a naked level 2 Finger here.
So tier 2 is fallen for the dire side. I feel
This
like
opens up space for them
that
to
is
take that
actually
shrine.
the perfect tier 2 stick as well, because that's denying the triangle from a Battle Fury hero.
and also they could steal the Tormentor when it comes out
True.
in
Yeah, they
30
can.
seconds.
Yeah, but this Battle Fury now feels quite bad on PA because they don't have the triangle to farm, and
That
they don't have
top
triangle
lane
to
is
farm, the
significantly
Battle Fury-
pushed in, warded by the Radiant here. We're seeing these wards here from the Radiant
See, what I
in our
like
lovely
to
little
see
sausage.
Hunter do is smoke or maybe blur and run to the enemy triangle and start farming that area. It's a bit risky, but it's how you'll get the most gold on the map.
Playing against an Alchemist, is that, as you say, it is risky, but is that
It is risky,
secure?
but if you have a look, the Radiant team haven't been in their triangle. I don't think at all this game they farmed it. They farmed the Dire triangle, but not their own. Because right now, by the time Hunter gets his BKB, I don't think he'll have enough damage to do anything.
Hmm.
They'll have BKB, naked BKB. Yeah, this Battle Fury into BKB feels a bit sad on PA because when you get it, you don't feel like you have the damage. You need that Deso or a damage item to do some actual damage.
So Radiant has smoked up here. They're going to try and find somebody in the jungle.
They're searching. This is a 3-man smoke, 3-hero smoke coming out here. That's a
broke.
pop, and Primal Beast is here. They've seen the Underlord. Only 2 heroes moving in, 2 heroes
been put down.
backing
And
off.
they've made
And they've
another ancient
rushed
stack for the Radiant. Because they
Just-
cannot take stacks.
Just
'Cause they
take
have no-
stacking them for them.
Yeah, they don't have the map control to defend the stacks.
So we're just going to see go for a run out here.
And that's a Scream coming out, doing very little. Underlord dying. He Who Hungers on the... Kxavic on CM dead. Venge still lives. Queen of Pain still lives. No deaths on the Radiant. They are
And
12
Hunter's just
kills
farming
to
at the
2.
bottom.
11,000 gold lead. And that is a 20% 7 level XP lead for them as well. However, only a 67% win probability. There is still a third of a chance that Badlads bring this back.
And yeah, the stack's now being stolen as well, so the gold lead's just going to get higher and higher. And this second pick PA doesn't feel like it's doing anything at all really at the moment.
They just going for BKB next. As
Yeah,
the
going
next
for BKB,
item.
but I think when it's BB, it still will not be able to fight as he won't have the damage.
Mhm.
You need an extra item on top of that, but I doubt Radiant's going to give him the time to do that.
Indeed.
They're going
Well,
for
we
Roshan
hear
there.
the crowd chanting, calling it over, telling the team to call it. Do you think
What I
they
will
wait
say, though,
until they
is-
lose a tier 3?
I don't think on PA you should ever call it until you've lost like a 2 rounds.
Until you've lost the game, yeah.
No, until it's 2 Rex, because you can still have like 1 Rex remaining by a rapier.
Get a lucky crit,
Like,
yeah.
and you're back in the game. So say after he gets this BKB, say they somehow win a fight, to do that, get an extra damage item on PA. They're in the
We
game.
see 2 hot for Dota here taking the bottom Roche. I would believe that that is shaping up ready to push high ground, so that they have that 6th hero essentially to combat those buybacks.
There is the Roshan.
Although, with how poor the Dire are, they don't have buybacks.
Incredibly poor. Let's have a look
Well,
through the
that
items
is
on
the-
this heroes here.
But that is
So-
the kind of Sanj finished now on Rucketman, so that Sanj
They are
might
moving
be
in
able
for
to
another
make
fight.
a
They are
lift.
taking this Underlord. Primal Beast has the heart already. We have a mech on Treant Protector, level 2 Helm of the
That is a
Overlord
bird dead.
on Lycan, Radiance, Aegis, Armlet, Manta, and Boots of Travel for this Alchemist versus a BKB and a Battle Fury on Phantom Assassin. Absolute poverty for the Radiant team. The Radiant team compared to the Radiant team, apologies. Vengeful
And
Spirit,
this
we
Hunter
have,
is now farming the triangle. So
we
he's-
have the medallion.
Or is he? Oh, no, Hunter killed the ancient camp. Oh, no,
And
he's just...
is leaving. We do
Oh.
see a Crimson Guard here on the Underlord and a mech, but they are still dead and out of the fight, while Too Hot for Dota push this high ground fruitlessly into...
That has just been picked up. He's going to be very careful using it, because say your BKB and Treant ultimates, that is half your BKB wasted. So it's what you've been farming for the last 10 minutes. Completely useless.
The thing is with this Radiant lineup, they have heavy push potential here.
Absolutely.
Well.
We're seeing
There
Bird
is
just
the
get
ultimate
slapped
use.
around,
Pain
rooted,
felt like it did nothing. Ooh.
stunned.
That ult was
Oh,
wasted.
zapped from downtown for a 4th finger stack on this Lion. ScienceWhizBen charging in, rooted before he can grab any of the other heroes. Underlord dying in the middle, but we see a CM ult looking for an almost full channel. Alchemist coming back up, not a care in the world.
Hunter
Trim
on his
Protector
own.
at the back, but Hunter
dead.
is going down. And
No buyback
Alchemist
on
is
Hunter.
looking at heroes rather than towers. No need to care about objectives right now.
No,
Absolutely
we're seeing no cowardness right now.
dialing on this dire team. And now we're just clicking the buildings. That's our first tier 3 down. Working on the
We're now gonna
racks.
see our
Bird
barracks.
is going back in on 200 health. Risky move.
Starting to burn to the Radiance, and they defend their defend the barracks.
But I don't think this is going to be for long, do you?
No,
So,
so I'm waiting for the show fight recap. So that was actually a 1k gold net worth change in the favor of Dire.
And yet Radiant are still left 14,000 gold ahead on net worth.
But then
We
you
saw-
think about it, a lot of it is on that, of course, that Alchemist.
Yes,
The
of
Alchemist
course.
will always be so far
The
ahead.
Alchemist is currently sitting at 7,000 gold ahead of the next closest hero, which is his own position too.
yeah. So I think the Radiant, they should just go again before PA finishes another item. Because if PA gets this deso done and they approach from the right angle, they can potentially kill Lion at the start of the fight and make it a 4v5, and that's how they should approach fights on Dire. Just get a pick off on Lion or Tree and approach fight from there. But if they like to just push before PA gets another item, that's not happening.
I think, like, as we said, I think Badlads still have a comeback here.
And
They
then
just
do
need
PA,
to-
I think it's there for them, but I think it will still require an amount of throwing from Too Hot for
Oh, it
Dota
will.
for them to really capitalise.
But I think we can see the throw. I think the throw is real. I think the throw is possible.
It's possible, but like I said, PA is going to get a deso soon, which could do something, but also could do nothing. Because their, let's say, Crimson Guard's going to be finished soon. Sorry, Guarding Breeze is going to be finished soon, and Trim Protector, that's going to be some more AoE armor. Lion already has a 4-staff, so if you...
Ooh, this
like,
Vengeful Spirit is just being caught out here by Lion and Trim Protector. We see another Lion Finger. That is
And
5 for a total of
that is also
200
a-
bonus damage.
That's also a dieback on the Vengeful Spirit, so it's going to be a 4v5 when they push top.
Which we've just
And
seen the walls
Oh,
dropped
Hunter,
by NPR. They
Hunter's nearly
spot
revealed
Hunter.
then?
They're ready and in position
I don't
to walk
know.
up this high
Do
ground.
they feel like they should just give
Alchemist
away
with
this...
the Radiance on, Acid Splash, just hitting buildings. Ults here continues to just hit buildings, taking the first of our racks here
I think they let
and
the racks
working on the
fall
second.
and just hold for the other.
Manta's out, Frostbite clicks the building, ScienceWhizBen clicking the building. All of Dire attempting to engage from the back, and that's the racks down.
And Rocket is still out farming their Desolator.
We talked about how this game's not over until they've lost 2 racks due to the PA of
Well,
it all, but I think this is...
I think once this death
This
is
is
done,
about done.
if Hunter cues anything other than a rapier, it's over.
Gets caught out by the ultimate from ScienceWhizBen. Now
And
he's getting run
that's a
down, and now
swap.
just switched out by He Hungers.
ScienceWhizBen getting caught, but just eating it all, not a care in the world,
And
soaking up
Hunter
that
has
pressure.
now got the gold for his Deso, so there is that.
PA, yep.
He's also
Gold for the
pushing
Deso.
out.
Deso
now.
being shipped out. Quietly farming a camp
Well,
just in the
will
bot
he-
lane here.
Will he queue up Arabia next? Because I think he has to queue up Arabia. If he doesn't queue up Arabia,
Or-
We will be
We,
watching
we've
your
seen
career
this-
with interest.
We've seen this one thing in mid lane right now. There is a DD.
They are. Ooh, there is a
Well, that
DD.
DD is timing out in 20 seconds, so no one's going to get to it in time.
And that's
Which is
another ultimate from
sad.
Alchemist. There's a stun and the bounce onto Train Protector, the root, and just more building hitting coming out here from Alchemist.
Yeah, they have a lot of high ground siege. Like, the fact is that like DotA didn't build any like high ground defense in a way.
Well, they do have an Underlord though, so there is that. And that's an Underlord of Vishard, so that's an extra 3 wave counts. So that is some
Let's
decent
briefly
wave
talk
push.
about this PA for a second.
Oh,
We've
PA's queuing up
queued
the Satanic. That is
uh,
bad. You have to queue up Arabia here in this game state. Satanic is
Instead
also...
of couriering out our finishing the Deso, walked home to go and get it, and not only walked home, instead of with 3 TPs not on cooldown, TPing back to base, portaled to top lane, farmed through camps to walk home to collect this
Yeah,
Desolator.
I think that's
I
fine.
do not like the Satanic pickup on PA. It is the wrong approach. You need damage first, that team. Satanic, it's not going to do anything.
Have we seen a Kxavic ulti yet, by the way?
Yes.
We have.
We
We've done
saw a
few
full-length
decent
channel
Okay.
on the fringes of a fight, which didn't do nothing, but given that it is only level 1 freezing field, it essentially did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was against a primal beast with a heart. You know, doesn't feel like she scratches him at all. Yeah.
I honestly don't think Radiant care too much anymore about this DotA team. It's just what? Ooh,
Oh.
Oh, a lion?
Oh.
rage quit?
Lag.
Rage quit.
NPR issues. Yeah. And if you look now, it's a Ghost Scepter finished on the Lion. So if we look at PA,
If you open
Then-
up your scoreboard, by the way, Amos,
Mm.
and if you open up the show items in the bottom right,
Ah yes, let's have a look at these rather than clicking through each
That's
hero while we're
yes.
paused. How do we feel about some of these poverty builds on DotA?
so on the diet, Bird's items, he's got Crimson Guard, he's got Guarding Greaves, he's got the 2 items he needs. That's fair enough. What I would like to see though on Bird though would be completed magic wands, because he's against a lion. A lion's going to suck all your mana.
Mm.
So,
He has got a Lotus Orb queued up.
so I saw that's decent. And just having a look at their items. So what is?
I don't know how I feel about the Falcon Blade.
I think the Falcon Blade's fine on
Yeah.
Corp.
We have a queued up BKB, which is only about 200 gold away from being finished.
Oh,
So
what
that'd
on
be-
the quad?
Although
yeah, that'd
Rocket
be
is the
nice.
only member of DotA currently with buyback available.
I think a BKB is more impactful than buyback here, because if you can
Yeah.
do something in your first life, instead of because
We are unpausing.
We are back to it.
So we still got Hunter. He's just farming up top lane.
I do not like these queued up items. You like
Hunter is
the
just
first
playing
thing,
an
Satanic is
incredibly-
bad this game, and Basher is not terrible, but like I said, you need with how behind you are, you need a rapier.
Yeah.
We see
Anything
Hunter
else
moving to cut
It's
the
just
lane,
not enough.
or is it just
I think
gonna be
Hunter's
for
just to
camp?
kill the camps.
I think Hunter's just playing single player at this point.
It feels like.
Some deeply single player Dota happening from Hunter here.
Well, it might be cutting the wave this time.
That's what I see this as.
And because it's blurred, it's not going to show up on the mini-maps. Although...
They might
signs
notice
of
the
bears
absence
notice.
of the wave.
Oh, they're pinging out...
Roshan again is going to be
BastMaster at
gunned
the
down
moment.
here. Hopefully they get a kill on Bass here.
Yeah.
They seem to be going for it.
They are.
That'll be a
Got him.
first Deso thing.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's fine. A stun.
Yeah,
Good.
here we go.
This is going to be a
Yes,
dead
that is a
BastMaster
kill on BastMaster. That's
and a
the
stack of Desolator as well.
That's the
first
fifth
one in the game.
kill for Dire.
And the PA got 400 gold from that kill.
True. However, like
Which has
this
helped
one going
launch
towards the
them
wrong
up
items.
the net worth rankings.
Yes.
Yeah, like this. They said this item build he's got queued up is the wrong item build. You need, like saying, you need a rapier. I mean, it's
The problem with the rapier, we've always said this, is if you lose it, that's game over. But
true, but if you get satanic, you're not going. You don't. You need more damage.
They're
to
going
this
in
game.
for a second Roche. This one
Satanic
is holding
Really,
cheese.
satanic gives you negligible damage.
Mhm.
So what's going to realistically happen is you're going to satanic, and yeah, you might live a bit longer, but you're not doing enough damage to kill anyone during the duration, so they'll just kill you when it runs out.
So yeah, they know they're doing Roche. Hunter's still farming. Hunter's now second in net worth overall.
Yes,
So-
but only marginally.
True.
One
and
death could wipe that whole
Yeah,
net
I feel
worth out.
I feel like
There
it's
is-
gonna be, if you're too scared to go for the
There's
satanic, I feel like an
3,000
axe
gold.
would be better. No, sorry, if you're too scared to go for a rapier,
Uh,
an axe would be better than satanic here, because with an axe, it's when you activate it, now cast dispel.
I have a feeling we're gonna be saving for buyback here as well on Hunter.
Yeah, so far this
I
game, I've not been
think
very
that's
impressed
what's
with
happening here.
performance.
Mhm.
It's a hard game, but still, yeah. I feel
They're
like
gonna-
as a carry in this kind of situation, you just go Hail Mary and spend all your goals.
Mhm.
Because he's got 17k net worth, but about 4k of that is just saved. So realistically, he's got
Yeah.
only 12k net worth when you think about it that way.
So he's got 3,500 unreliable gold.
Like I say, in this situation, it's
It's a
always better to, in
healthy
my
chunk of
opinion, to buy
unreliable
out.
gold there.
Because realistically, like I said, he's got 4k in the bank. You know, that makes his net worth a lot. His actual effective net worth a lot lower than it actually is.
Yeah. So do we think we just see the straight pickup of the Skull Basher maybe? Instead
Maybe.
of going for this
I
satanic?
don't understand. I don't think the Satanic does anything here. If you want a defensive item, Axe would be way better.
Oh, they are
Yep.
moving up high ground in bot lane.
Oh,
That is a
high ground.
dead Underlord. We are looking at an almost dead Alchemist, an almost dead Lion, and an almost dead Treant Protector Walt.
PA's coming in now.
PA is now coming in, getting ready. We've seen BKB on Rocket, on Queen of Pain. That's a tower down. Now looking at the Underlord again. We've seen a buyback on CM. That's a buyback on the Underlord. That's a dieback on the Underlord. And some building clickers are engaging.
We're like Hunter's gonna get caught out here. Remember that Kara still has the Aegis of immortality.
And that's a very late BKB.
So
And
no,
that's
but-
the racks down. They're moving in for the Queen of Pain
The buyback here.
for the Crystal Maiden, but they're not quite going to go for it. They're going to turn. They're going to look again at another lane of racks. They've taken the tier 3. They're looking at the racks, and Dire
They
are
are going
trapped
for Mega
in the
Creeps.
fountain. We have 2 buybacks from Dire. Is it too late, however?
And that is Mega Creeps, the Radiant side.
We see a swap
That
of the
swap,
Alchemist, but there is still an Aegis, but we are seeing a dead Queen of Pain, a dead Vengeful Spirit, and about to be a dead Phantom Assassin, all
That's
to
get
take
charged
down
And
the
a nice
Aegis.
dodge.
And that is dead Phantom Assassin. And it's
And I think that is a GG.
I think that GG was about 10 minutes too late.
Yeah, that's quite a dominant performance this game from 2 Hot for Dota.
Well
And
played by 2 Hot for Dota, well
Yeah.
drafted specifically as well.
Yeah, I'd say my MVP for that game is either ScienceWhizBen or Zoey. ScienceWhizBen because he just dominated that game as the Primal Beast. Zoey because there's quite a few good rotations that allowed ScienceWhizBen to get those kills, which allowed him to snowball.
Yep.
I'm being
So
repartied.
I think we need to add Ari copies.
Well, we should just at Eri regardless, because it's.
Why
I
would
think
Eri
everyone
do
in the-
this?
I think everyone in the chat should at Eri.
Please do not add Ari.
Yeah, don't actually. Oh, Eri's invited me to
Yeah.
a party. I'm going to join this. I've been kicked from the party by the party leader. Okay, Eri invited me to a lobby. That's probably what he wanted to do.
Let me put my jacket back on.
Eri, why are you like this? Wonderful, fantastic. While we have a moment, I would like to shout out Matey Potato, Tomsi, Kxavic, Flying Duckman, and Tom Paragon, who have all followed me this stream. Thank you very much. I would also like to plug our sponsor, a brand new subscription service called My Bank Account. Feel free to just send me money every month. Go nuts.
And please don't. And
Featuring
remember-
such benefits as I won't call you names in public. Or I will, if
And-
you're into it.
And please remember, on the YouTube channel, we have all the games for the GTI, and of course we have the podcast, and we have the website.
Yeah, and
I'll get my union
Yeah.
plugs in.
also on YouTube, we're actually going to get Mr. Beast to cast next game.
I'm sorry, I believe that contract didn't go through. We are currently in
Yes.
talks with Mr. Least, however.
Oh, okay, sorry, my mistake.
We fell out with you.
Oh,
Pred,
don't forget
pick
to-
a number between 100 and 200.
12.
Between 100 and 200, please.
112.
112. Fantastic.
And also, don't forget to upload random clips of just any of our YouTube stuff on YouTube Shorts with some shit music playing in the background, because that's all people put on YouTube Shorts. I don't get why.
True. So as we said about that game, we thought it was going to go like that after we saw the draft, after we saw what we got given. What are your thoughts about that game?
So,
by people?
What I'd like to say is, like, I highlighted it in the draft, but the second pick PA felt a bit bad. That's the only way to say it.
It must switch back to the desk.
Didn't do anything.
I'm actually not stood up and won't stand up right now because it requires putting a significant amount of stuff on my desk to hold what I use as a camera.
Just delete your camera. Don't need it there.
I mean, I could use my terrible webcam.
What's wrong with that?
Hang on, no, we'll go back to the desk. It's fine.
Production quality, you know.
I have added Pred as a VIP now, and I'm in the middle of something quickly
I'm
on my
a
phone.
very important person.
He is.
So we had 25 kills to 5 in that game. And like as we said, like we did the PA.
So
It was too slow to come online.
yeah, what I think Eddie is going to be doing, as a coach, is probably going to be highlighting just the PA itemization, because Eddie, very good carry player, almost as good as me, and he knows his thing. So he's a bit. When he grows up, he's going to be a good lad. But yeah, I think Eddie's going to be just highlighting the carry stuff because, like I said, maybe small things like these skill build, whereas on PA you should go 3-point stagger and then max out the blink strike. So that's a small thing because that speeds up your farming massively. And then important stuff like the itemization, because that Satanic, I think it was just for the blade mail on the Primal Beast that he got it. However, even if he finished it that game, I feel like it wouldn't have done anything, because if you're jumping Primal Beast, that's the wrong target on PA. As PA, you want to get the squishy lads, get close to them, get your knife in, and just kill them. Instead,
Indeed.
it just didn't really do anything.
Well, sorry,
So-
I'm just gonna open my curtain to let some more air into the room. Actually, here.
Oh, and Amos has just sent me his bank details to give him money.
I told you to pick a number between 100 and 200.
Oh, and we're going into Dota right now.
And how much money have you? What number did you
Oh,
pick?
man, Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero.
I'll give you
Entire team ban.
112 pennies.
Mr. Least is here, gents. Wonderful. Now,
You really got to pick a hero. You got 10 seconds left.
actually, I shall be back in just a moment. Please entertain yourselves.
Pick your hero. 5 seconds.
All right.
So I think we should see the Alchemist ban here in this game.
I
Again.
don't think it'll be a first ban. I think second phase probably. I think they'll do
Yeah.
the standard stuff first phase, which is
Warlock, Witch Doctor,
Witch Doctor.
Gyro.
10
Nature's
seconds to
Prophet.
pick your
Yep.
hero, you Radiant team
I
ban.
And then
just
once they've done that, maybe some like the Alchemist potentially. Although I think Primal Beast should be a higher
Oh,
priority
man,
ban.
Rick, there's only 10
So I felt like the
seconds left
Primal
to
was the
pick a
bigger
hero.
issue compared to the Alchemist. I feel like they could have picked
Oh,
any
Giant
carry of the
Team
game, and it would have done similar.
so OG banned again. That was ScienceWhizBen's
You really got to pick a hero. You got 10
hero
seconds
ban.
left.
Yeah, I think Primal Beast should be a higher priority than
5
Odie,
seconds,
because
Morty. It'll be
Mhm.
fine.
this match, Odie doesn't kill us
Radiant
from his
team ban.
Beast.
OG, yeah, Beast will just run at you, and definitely if you seem to be enjoying picking these squishy supports, you're just gonna get
10
run at
seconds to pick your
constantly
hero, you
and constantly and
moron.
constantly ran at.
Yeah, 5 seconds left now.
There's a lot of constantlys. I really need to get my green screen.
Wonderful. Excellent. I'm back. So this evening we will be drinking a lovely Catarato.
Oh, here you go.
Cataract.
Here you go. You're about to watch a pop of
Oh, man, Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero.
It came to me on my wine subscription. I don't know how lovely it is. I'm having it over ice.
Oh, that's
Automod, we've been through this. You are allowed to spam the turd to pray for bird.
So, Nature's Prophet. I'm surprised we see a tree there, but I don't think the tree was that annoying in that game. I don't know why we see it.
I think potentially the ban tree, because it did prevent the corp getting aggressive in the mid lane. Because just if you throw a tree heal on a tank hero like Primal Beast, it makes aggression impossible. So I think that could be the reason behind the ban.
I think as maybe
That's
we see it as well because it does shut down the lane a little bit, don't it? For
True.
like,
And also, what it does do is it did kind of ruin the BKB timing as well from Hunter last game, because his first like the BKB, 4 seconds of it were just nullified by that tree ult, because you have to wait for tree ult to go off and then use BKB.
so we see the Witch Doctor banned out as well
We
from Too Hot for Toyota.
We've seen
Which is
a
one of the
tree
strongest.
and avenge band.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and a Jakiro.
Jakiro pick.
Hero pick
Oh,
and
Dark
Dark
Willow.
Willow.
Intriguing.
Oh, no,
Hmm.
that's a big oversight from us to not see that coming.
Let's see the Dark Willow.
Yeah, that's the biggest oversight so far on the cast, that we've just not seen this Dark Willow pick coming. It's
mean,
unbelievable.
it
I don't know
is
how-
from us.
An interesting
Us-
pick for sure.
Yes, us unbelievably sexy people who just, forgot about Dark Willow.
We forgot it's a hero. Like, I totally forgot. It's after that cursed as shit video I've seen recently of Dark Willow being Marcy. That was the most cursed video I've seen in a while. It's basically Dark Willow is running like Marcy does. And I've seen Marcy fly like Dark Willow was. And I think I see
shouldn't have done that.
Dark Willow as well move like Hoodwink does as well, and it was cursed as hell, that video.
I've seen some pretty cursed Dark Willow videos, but I won't discuss them here.
They could be safe for DMs later, yes.
Yeah.
We're
Along
all
with-
aware of the copy
question.
pasta that we're not allowed to use anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's Enchantress, isn't it?
No, well, there's
There's
Oh,
a
there was-
Dark
oh,
Willow one
yeah,
as well,
oh,
don't
there
you
was,
worry.
wasn't there?
yeah.
Tidehunter ban again from Too Hot for Dota here. Although they have banned the Underlord, despite the fact
I didn't think the Underlord did much last game
it
at all.
didn't do
No,
anything
I've-
last game.
Well, it delayed the push. That's what it did.
Mhm.
I'm having
I
chat
just-
comment that they can see down my top. Again, that's something that is on the subscription service for you. Or not. You can pay me to not see down my top, whichever one works for you. Consider it a free trial or a warning.
I don't know what we see here really picked up. Night Stalker banned as well, and that is another NPR hero.
I'd rather them not pick their carry second.
So what would you like to be seen here? Would you like to see their 5
Maybe
pick?
an off laner potentially.
Oh, Kxavic CM again.
Kxavic CM again. He
has
loves
played
it.
This, he has played it an awful lot this GTO already. I think
I
this is his 4th game, maybe his 5th game, is it?
do believe, Pred, you're in the stats position of this panel at the moment, by which I mean sat down. Could you just check his Dota buff to see if Crystal Maiden is his most played hero of all time?
Alright, 1 second. Getting the buff of Dota up.
But I just don't know. So Dawnbreaker,
Oh,
Mummy Dawnbreaker
Ooh,
picked.
now, we did speak about this earlier. Does this mean that Too Hot for Dota will lose, or are they the team that will redeem Dawnbreaker's win rate in this tournament?
I mean, we had one team already win with Dawnbreaker out of the 10 games.
Yeah.
So could this be another team to increase the win rate? But
I
I feel like they're gonna lose. I had that feeling here now.
don't
They
know.
throw it.
I think they can win. I think the other teams win, and I think also that Kxavic's got his Dota buff private because I can't get it up.
What a tryhard and a
Yeah,
grim
you-
stroke for Too Hot for Dota.
That is I'm guessing, Zoey hero. The Grimstroke and Jakiro will be played by
Although,
TheBastMaster.
I feel like Bast is the more likely to play Grimstroke out of those two, but I have no reason to say that. I don't know where it's coming from. It's vibes. It's pure vibes.
I'm going off of what I used to see Zoe play a lot of, and I know that was a lot of Grimstroke before.
Mm.
Darkseer.
Darkseer.
I enjoy this Darkseer pick
Alright,
actually.
I like Darkseer. It gives them a
This-
good team fight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The Darkseer pick feels like they filled out what they were missing from last game. The Dark Willow with the maze fills in that sort of broader lockdown that the Underlord did, but the Darkseer fills in that fighty spirit that they seemed to have been.
And a Necro.
Which, I mean, I don't...
It's a run at you hero. It is a run at you.
It is a run at you hero, but I don't feel like it really
I feel like
plays
against-
into what they're looking to do.
So they're leaving their carries for last pick.
Which I suppose their carry will tell us what they're looking to do here, because this is doing several things at once at the moment.
See, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of Necro versus those heroes because I don't personally think versus Jakiro. I'm not sure how good it'll be versus Dawn. or
I don't
Grimstroke,
think it's
but-
going to be particularly great against the Dawn.
And also, if that's a mid Necro, which I'm assuming it probably is, instead of a carry Necro, you can just counter pick it like they've just done here. And I feel that Necro has to have a good lane as a mid, and if he doesn't, he feels useless.
Could we see the Darkseer go mid?
We
Necro
do.
not?
We are now seeing
I
the
know
ScienceWhizBen Zeus.
Or do we? Or we take the carry mid and we take Necro going off lane or carry here, carry lane.
I feel like they still just have to put the Necro mids because Necro carry.
I don't think this
Could
Necro
be.
works anywhere other than mid in this current lineup. Unless you're gonna... I was gonna say gonna pick something like a Zeus, but they've just done that, or maybe an OD. But even OD can somewhat slot into that position 1
And
role.
ban wise,
I-
I assume they'll ban Muerta here because they picked
Yeah.
Necro, and then and Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker's good as well because it's good versus Darkseer.
Mm.
I'd say Muerta. Yeah, Muerta will make sense as well.
Hopefully Moretta. And then I just don't know. Do we see a Sven maybe picked up here on the side of Badlads?
I think a Sven
it's
Sven
very
redeems their
fighty.
draft.
It's very
Sven-
fighty.
Yeah, Sven is good with Darkseer because you just get everyone close together and Sven clears them all to death.
And just
Yeah,
absolutely
no,
glick 'em.
And with the neck thrower as well, I think the Sven would work here on the side of Radiant. It depends on what
Although,
Dire
the
Dire's got first pick.
Sven would be good. However, last game we did see Badlads not play very well around the triangle for the Ancients, and Sven has to play around that.
100%.
So I'd be a bit concerned if they pick Sven because of that.
Okay, here we
So,
go. The
PL
first of our
ban.
2
Oh.
carry picks is coming out.
I think we see the Moeta being picked up here.
Does Kara play Muerta?
I just
Or
got
if we-
Simperary to play.
Don't I think we see maybe a Ricky?
I don't think
Ricky
Ricky's
does-
garbage.
I don't think Ricky's too bad because you got the Zeus on your team, so that's the invisible.
Or a Drow Ranger.
Brown,
Hmm.
yeah.
Like, it's good as Necro. I'm just thinking about Necro counters here, really.
Confirmation from our producer Kieran. Kara does play Muerta.
So we now got to decide what they need to decide what they're gonna play.
Yeah, they've got a lot of things. They could maybe try and think of a counter pick and name for Darkseer and just ruin the Darkseer's life. Or there's lots of potential things they could do. So right now,
They're using a lot of reserve time.
Yeah, well, it's their
It's
last
their
pick.
last pick. That's what it's there for in some ways. Maybe they've already. You never know. They might have the pick locked in and they're just reserve timing through it
right.
to
Mind
flex.
Mind games. You
But
love a bit
if
of
you are
mind
doing
games
that,
here.
all you're doing is you're giving them more time to discuss what they
They've
are
got,
looking to do.
Well, remember, Radiant's got a whole 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Absolutely.
Our
And
two
Dire,
Dota are going to
and
go
Dire
for
is
school here.
gifting them.
Oh, is this going to be
another
a
minute.
random? Is this
No,
going to
this
be
is
a
going to be a final
random?
second lock in. Here we go.
3 seconds.
Spectre.
Spectre.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
I feel like the lane will be quite hard versus Darkseer, and I think Darkseer is just a good matchup versus Spectre, and also isn't Necro supposed to be quite for Spectre because the damage from this. I'm baffled. I'm gonna say.
I still
by
don't
this
mind
Spectre
a.
pick.
I don't mind a Sven pick
Because
here still.
I think this
I
Spectre
think
pick is
Sven
bad
works
versus
here
both
still.
cores, so it
Mhm.
doesn't really make sense. But also, they could just be thinking the new Spectre, or they could just get kills around the map with that and Zeus and Dawnbreaker. So I think with their heroes, the Spectre's good, but it's not good against the Radiant heroes. But I think they're just confident in their skill ability that they're better players. They can pick what they want and dominate them.
What would you like to see here from Radiant? That's what I was saying. I would like to see the Sven here. It's very strong against this lineup.
Yeah,
But
Sven makes sense.
Sven's
I
still-
was almost about to suggest Gyro, but the ban did happen nice and early. Forgot about that. It's taken.
What
long
about Sven got Ricky still in the pool? Like, I don't think Ricky does really well against it.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely
I guess
not
maybe.
against this. We talked about Ricky in that Spectre position. Ricky
Yeah.
against the Spectre, not against the
And
Spectre,
the Zeus.
against the Zeus.
Yeah.
Ricky against the Zeus, I think, is a poor choice. Once
Yeah.
the Spectre picks up the Ags,
I think
you're
I would
you're
like
done
to
for.
see-
Ricky is a non-factor in the game. Once
I think I
Spectre
would
picks up
love
the
to
Ags.
see a Sven here. I would love to.
Yeah, Sven's the meta pick that makes the most sense at the moment. I don't think what else could be good here is in the carry role. Slark? Is Slark banned?
No.
Slark is not banned. We still have a Slark free. But then they have a lot of magic burst potential.
They do. But also Slark, if you can, like, they've got tanky heroes. That's lots of stacks, I'm thinking. But they do have AoE. It is a hard
It's
carry pick,
confusing, yeah. It's a very confusing one here. They're leaving it to the last second of reserve time again.
Yeah.
They're thinking long and hard.
And-
Anti-mage!
They've lost. Anti-Mage is gone.
They definitely lost this game.
Yeah, they have flat out lost this.
I
game.
I do think Anti-Mage takes slightly against this, not against this draft, but against this team of players, not the team of
It's
heroes,
over.
the team of players. I think Anti-Mage takes far too long to be
Right.
effective in this game.
Yeah.
Or in
And also,
almost any game.
Anti-Mage dies twice in the first 20 minutes of the game.
Mm.
It's gonna be way too.
I could see maybe a Storming Eagle successfully pulling off an anti-mage here,
True.
but I don't think Hunter's the player to do it.
Yeah, Hunter after his last game, so I'm not confident as well. But we could be proven wrong. Like, anti-mage historically wins the core matchup versus Spectre, and Zeus is an hero. However, I think the lane Dawnbreaker should just dominate it. And if this anti-mage falls behind, there's going to be useless. So, yeah, really not a fan of this anti-mage pick. I could be proven wrong here, but
So, Amos,
Time
am
will
I
tell.
allowed to do something?
What are you thinking?
I was going to do a soundboard thing quickly.
I would prefer if you didn't.
Okay.
do it,
Do it.
do it.
I think Gaya's got this again in the draft. Like,
Yeah, this
I
is
don't
like,
think the AMP is horrible here.
yeah, I am really not a fan of this AM pick.
This is how long is this strategy time on for? So this is longer than normal.
I think it is ever so. It's
Do we have any Arcanas that can?
it starts from when everybody locks in their hero.
Well,
So
and also, if it's the same as all pick,
here we go.
if someone has an Arcana, it just doubles it for some reason.
Really?
Because of have you not noticed that if you have someone with an Arcana, it counts down to 0. Their portal ship at the top changes them to the Arcana, and then it counts down from like the thing to 0 again because of Valve's spaghetti code.
We do love the spaghetti code. Let's turn
Although I do personally prefer
This off.
Tagliatelle.
and this on. We talked about it. I did have tagliatelle this evening.
Yeah, I feel like it's a superior pasta. to a
It was
spaghetti.
fantastic. Well, so we were going to have gnocchi.
Yeah,
Normally for
yeah,
that
I
dish we have
remember
gnocchi.
Alright,
So,
that's-
seeing as nothing's going to happen for the next, I don't know, 15 minutes? That sounds about right. Shall we talk about pastas?
yeah. Oh, I did buy some like cool pasta shapes a while back, but I can't remember their names. Oh, is this going to be a porcelain invade? Oh, I like this actually.
Oh, this is nice. This is nice.
Because they're going to come from an unexpected angle. You normally expect them to come from like the high grounds, like there or there, but they're going to be coming from
30 seconds until the
Yeah.
game starts.
These
So,
steps here.
before we do this, so we have Badlads on the Radiant and 2 DotA on the Dire side.
Okay, they're doing a long wraparound. This is going to be, I think, okay, they should have just ran like.
The smokes also ran out.
Yeah, they should have just ran up the steps, and I think the tower scouts them. Actually, it doesn't because it's not daytime. This is a weird rotation. They're going to
Matey
maybe
Potato
find.
is mentioning that he's not a fan of gnocchi. Careful with what you say. I will time you out.
Oh, that blink by Hunter. Oh,
That was a horrendous blink.
Yeah.
A real brave over there.
Although it could potentially be 4 runes going to the Radiant here. If he just walks up bang on the Necro, which he doesn't do.
Mhm.
And starting item didn't get a magic stick on Necro, which he's got the gold for it now. Will he buy it?
How
So
do you
have to-
feel with CM going W here first in lane?
Let's have a look.
I feel like you want to harass more, but I guess it was for first blood, maybe.
Yeah, and
Potential.
okay, they've put the AM in the top lane. It's just to avoid the lane against Dawnbreaker. That I do like, because I think the Dawnbreaker would bully, whereas Spectre early.
Spectre early on, and the Jakiro don't really do anything until about
Yeah.
level 4 or 5, isn't it? And they start having kill potential down up there.
Have you ever find them too chewy? Then you won't. I was gonna say, have you ever, after flashing them in the water, in some boiling water, have you ever pan fried them to get a nice, crispy, ever so slightly extra chew on the outside of your gnocchi? I'm a
Or maybe
big
have
fan of
tried
a fried
growing
gnocchi.
some teeth. Alright, let's have a look at the last hits here. So, mid lane it's even. Okay, the last hits are so far quite even across the lanes.
Mm-hmm.
Although bot lane, Kxavic's maybe dead here. He is.
Absolutely, and I've missed it.
And now, do they go on to Zoey? Is gonna starting to click down the bird, but I don't think they're gonna kill.
Same with the damage, no.
Making it's actually
I don't
incredibly
know.
easy. You can get away with not using eggs or, I mean, I don't know how well it would work for gnocchi, but aquafaba is used as an egg replacement in cocktails. So potentially that could fill the same kind of place if you're trying to make a gnocchi dough.
Oh no! Please don't get him talking about cocktails.
Well, I'm fine talking about them, but just
The amount of cocktails you had while we was at Berlin.
hey.
Remember, you just go back to our hotel and the amount of cocktails you had.
Yeah, well, your hotel had a nice cocktail bar. What was I
We
supposed
did.
Okay, so Rocket's bullying ScienceWhizBen a bit at the moment. ScienceWhizBen suggesting just because possible. And
I-
it's just redid the rest.
I don't know. I would like maybe Jesper to go down bot lane and play bot lane instead of the CM, and CM come top and play with the anti-mage. Because I feel like in this bot lane, there's too much run potential. Are we gonna have a fight for the Lotus?
Cool.
So he's popped the stun, running after.
Yep. Got landed a stun.
Someone Kxavic?
Aquafaba, it's when you get chickpeas, the water that the chickpeas is in is called, that's aquafaba. It's not like normal water, it's like a special water.
So it died again.
Yep. And our bird should be tanking the creeps here, not letting him go in the tower.
So I feel like, yeah, he
Oh,
missed
bird
that flag
missed-
creep. And he
Oh.
missed that flag creep.
Yeah, that is sad.
Yep.
Alright.
I feel like Kxavic should
I
go
actually
top here.
prefer ones to use aquafaba to egg whites. I find that the egg white in a cocktail, it does something texturally that affects the rest of the
Oh,
drink.
mid lane, Rocketman's dead.
Whereas, he is. Whereas aquafaba will,
I was looking away from the
when you
screen
make
then.
cocktails with aquafaba, what it does, it just creates this nice head and
Foam.
sort of a smoother texture than an egg white. An egg white has this slightly
Yeah.
sticky
whites-
texture to it.
I feel like, yeah, I'm inferior in cocktails.
This'll come in handy.
I have
in
a
a
dog
meringue,
just come into my room.
I'd definitely have the egg white, but in a cocktail, yeah, the aquafaba is better.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
I-
mid lane, Rocketman just got a bit too aggressive, and then ScienceWhizBen realised Rocketman was spells on cooldown, out of 6 charges, and just killed him.
Well, I mean, that's...
yeah.
Not in particularly recent times, but I've played a reasonable amount of Zeus mid. It's one of the heroes that I attempted to learn rather foolishly a while back. And it's something that actually Zeus's spells are built to do. When you get ever so slightly too aggressive, it allows you to just punish it.
Yeah. Although they do a good job of making sure that Zeus doesn't get any form in the water rings at least, so Rucketman might have a way back into lane because of that. Okay, top lane, there's a bit of a harassment going on either sides.
Mm-hmm. I really don't know how I still feel about this AM pick. And it feels very greedy.
Yeah, it feels too.
Putting it in the offlane does...
I think not.
It feels questionable picking an AM and then lane
I
swapping
think
it.
it is going to still be the carry, but I think they wanted to avoid the Dawnbreaker matchup. because Dawnbreaker.
Yeah,
would
Dawnbreaker Grimstroke is just
Yeah.
horrible lane.
I agree that it will still be the carry, but I just think what you're doing is you're just delaying that and you're just punishing yourself further.
Yeah. Because Spectre's getting good lasts too, and Spectre will come online faster.
So Lotus again from Zoey.
That is our cornucopia bought.
The rune goes to ScienceWhizBen. He's now also going to get a bounty rune, and he's going to get back to full health mana with marking rune, so he can maybe even try and go for another kill on Rocket.
Rocket does has that ult, and hopefully he
Yeah.
can use it. Zeus has quite a low HP in a way.
True.
Bramble Maze
Karo
is out.
is also level 5, and the Anti-Mage is only level 3.
This is just not happening here.
Oh,
Zap
Zeus ult comes out.
and kill.
MPR also kills Kxavic in the bot lane.
from Rucketman, he might be able to get us.
And I
here.
think this could be a kill on Zoey.
Yeah.
Rocket is hunting
But he's not killing the thing
and
on him.
silence.
He's not killing the thing. Oh,
That's
all he
it.
had to
That's
do
the kill
there
potential
is
gone.
He needs to cast a Reaper's Scythe and then cast Death Pulse during the Reaper's Scythe, but he didn't do that. Alright.
Anti-Mage's lane. Anti-Mage was in the top lane with the Dark Willow against the Jakiro and the Spectre.
So the Jakiro's leaving the lane a lot here. I think to stack or to pull.
Yeah.
I think it's pulling.
So the Kara can get the lane XP, so they can get level 6 faster.
Yeah, because I think what they want to do is get level 6 on the Spectre and just they've got like global map presence because each one of their cores has global abilities.
Bird's low on HP here, he's going back to base. Kxavic's a low down bot lane, so he could get dived on. DD on ScienceWhizBen.
Do
His
they
bottle
know
ready
that
to go.
Kxavic is alone?
Popping bottle. Going for a kill on Rocket here. Rocket's got no mana, but he's got
got
1
skip charges,
13
so
6 is 1.
He could
Good turnaround.
So I
yeah.
think he's safe. I think Rocket's safer.
Want to go for a clicky war?
We can just hear this anti-mage clicking at creeps and dying by the looks of it.
because
Oh my.
they just I don't understand why they really just didn't unblock that big camp, because that's what they need, that big camp to play the off lane, like a safe lane, and they've just not been doing that. Like if you look on that Sentry Ward, it's been down for quite a while.
Rocket has gone to a camp. ScienceWhizBen has the lane for free right now.
Rocket has also got no mana at all at the moment.
That is true. And it's just even
Bird's
less
courier
worse.
Just died. Just went across the mid lane.
And
Dead to
Bird
bot lane,
is
so.
dead.
they could get a
But
kill on
this
NPR
could be
here.
an NPR kill. Come on. Here we go. Yes.
An NPR kill is
And
happening.
that's an NPR kill, but Jakiro TPing in. Are we going to see the Ice Path? No path, but we see the Dual Breath, and that's
Path
Ice
used
Path
now.
onto Kxavic. This is a dead CM
Dead and a
from
Zeus
the
ult.
Zeus ult. How are we looking in our other lanes? Is this going to get capitalized? No. No
And
capitalization.
Zeus is actually travelling down here. Sold the bounty
Zeus
rune.
went for the
Hunter's-
rune, but doesn't seem to care about the heroes.
Hunter's given up on the
Fair
lane
enough.
for some reason. I don't think he has to do that. He's letting it to Spectre. I feel like he's just gonna get way less gold just by killing.
Yeah, he's
The
ready.
Necro
falling
is
behind.
beginning to run away with the last hits, but if we look at the net worth, the Zeus is ahead, but it's just... all it is that R button. Just press R. Ice Path in pending. Here we go.
He's dead.
And that's a dead Necro.
So if we look at the net worth quickly, the off lane of Rabian is nearly ahead of the AM. His own off laner
Well,
is nearly ahead.
it's because the position 3 has been playing in that safe lane. Yes, the AM is still going to step into and be that carry, but
But also,
playing it from the off lane,
what-
you just can't get
I
that
think
far.
The problem is they just didn't unblock the big camp. You need that big camp to get lane, aggro, and also the Dire pulled their small camp to get XP on, so they just didn't do that. So they just saw his block, left it.
Seeing a CM come into mid, have a look, and just leave. Opened the door, checked who was in the room, closed it and didn't want to come in. No disturbing this meeting today. But if we look here in top, we have nothing going on. There is nothing happening.
And the Darkseer has gone top lane now.
They have
Spectre
reverted.
from Free Farm.
This anti-mage has gone into a very
This
just
anti-mage is-
hit jungle creeps.
I don't think they have to jungle though. He's just kneecapping himself needlessly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He decided to jungle when he was 1v1ing versus Spectre, but Spectre can't force you out easily.
No.
Straight.
I think
It just seems like a big misunderstanding
Rune is
on how to
top.
play the carry role.
The
I
rune
feel
is
like
top.
I feel like Rocket could go for a kill here soon on this ScienceWhizBen. Jakiro's coming
I
down.
think with this Jakiro coming down, that could be a dead rocket.
Oh,
Oh,
mid lane.
but is that
reaction,
Rokara?
I believe
reaction
it
times.
is.
Oh,
Where
God,
was
that,
Where was the fucking? Where's the Reaper's scythe?
and he's got a range.
That's a
she's got a range
Spectre
up
on
to, she's gonna live.
50 health, and just press R on Zeus, get kill.
Yeah,
Where is the Reaper's scythe?
like that.
It was real because it TP'd
It was
to
real,
you.
yeah. And also,
Because
like,
remember the
look
Spectre's
hot.
ults change
Yeah.
and they can only go to one person now.
Like that was a free kill.
Let's
It was the freest
let's
thing.
talk about what Badlads have to do to get back into this game, because they're so far out of it right now.
I think with their heroes, it's gonna be hard. I think maybe like player on the Necro with Necro mech,
Radiant's bottom tower
but
is under
they can
attack.
kill this Necro still is the problem.
It-
Even with spec, it's gonna be quite hard. I think they need to maybe like go for pickoffs or something.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
but
attack.
who do they? I know that you can't choose who you find,
Yeah.
but who are they hoping to find? Who are they
Oh,
hoping
and
to pick up?
the Badlads, they're building 2 mechs. They've got 1 mech,
shit.
and Bird's building 1 too. Ooh,
I'm hoping there's going to be some comms, maybe?
we'll see. We're not allowed to use interventions, are we?
No,
we're
interventions
we're
are
not the
allowed.
big streamer, so I don't think we are allowed. No.
No, no streamers are allowed to. It's the rule now. Even if the big streamers do it, they're not allowed to. The union will get annoyed.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, I don't support unions. I am pro the Hollywood lobby, you know, the Hollywood
The AMTP.
studios and the strike, because
AMPTP.
writers, you know, they live in Hollywood.
And here we go. Kxavic's been found by Grimstroke and Jakiro. It's a 2-on-1 supports. Where's
Bird's
that
coming in.
meme of the... Oh, and I think Bird's going to go down here too, but Jasper comes in at the top. There is a
maybe a
silence
kill on
out the
Zoey
Dark Willow.
Bechamel.
This is a kill on Zoey. Bird and Jasper could take BastMaster here, but I don't think it's going to happen. There's a
Ice path in
preemptive
front.
ice path to run away.
Vacuum
Dual breath
back.
behind.
Could be. No.
No,
Well,
the prescience
kill.
is not there.
Oh,
Is that
Rucketman's maybe in trouble here. Oh, buddy.
Jasper is
Oh,
TPing somewhere.
Well, he ults the higher health hero instead of the lower health one.
Mhm.
I think that he needs to understand that he's not getting out. Just commit for the kill on ScienceWhizBen if you're going to use your ult there.
Yeah.
Call
Need
it.
to start getting these. Need to
Just-
start getting these stacks.
Just call it.
And AM's nowhere near Battle Fury 2.
I think it's over.
Oh, Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's
I hate
never
to say
over
it.
until it's over.
No, but this is getting pretty close here, I'd say. Okay, but we've seen a little bit of communication. The Doxer is going for...
Hunter could be dead
No,
here.
the Doxer is not going for
Oh,
pipe? Question mark?
NPR was a coward. He could have killed Hunter bot.
Ah, the Doxer has switched to getting a pipe instead of a second mech.
Okay, that's good. Good they noticed.
The mech recipe did get bought, but it did also get sold, but I don't think for full price.
Ooh.
That is a big oof.
It was delivered and then sold at a secret shop, I believe.
And there's some big stacks in the Dire Triangle. I wonder who's going to farm them. Probably Zeus. He's the only one that can. Well, I guess Dawnbreaker could too.
Mhm.
If this anti-mage wakes up and finishes the battle through fast enough,
Well, I think this could potentially be like a 20-minute Battle Fury.
this is
Jakiro
a
is
dead
gonna
Jakiro
die.
by the looks of
Yeah.
it. The Macropie's gone
Say
down.
that,
Zoey
no.
Bechamel walking through, and Jakiro
They're
lives.
just not.
ScienceWhizBen is coming in. Gonna quick. Heroes, press buttons, cast spells. Dawnbreaker dropping in, but we are seeing the CM ult and the death. Dawnbreaker going in, getting a Dark Willow kill, getting a Rocket kill on the Necro. Bird at the back just running around with Ion Shell, and that's a Zeus ult and dead. And that's 4 heroes top.
I feel like
Is it 5? Where's the 5th hero?
Anti-mage just.
Anti-Mage is down bot.
No,
no,
the
this
5th
is
Dire
bad.
hero.
Oh, this is bad character understanding from Hunter if you have a look, because he knows all the Dire heroes are top. Instead of farming the lane, which will be free, he's going to go with neutral creeps, which are worth less gold.
I'm looking here, and I think like Rocket should have just threw the ult out there.
Yeah,
Because
that's-
ScienceWhizBen was on
yeah.
so low HP.
Yeah, well, I think he took the wrong level 10 talent. I think when I play Necro, I always take the cast range talent, because he might not have had the cast range for it. But if he had that, maybe he could have got it and got a kill.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Heart
like,
stopper
and
aura
Hunter is still
duration.
he's still just hitting the creep. Like there was a free ball. He's missed out on like 2 or 3 free creep waves.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just insane.
he's just farming way too safely.
What items does Darkseer have? Most of a pipe and arcanes. We're seeing poverty Badlads again.
Yeah, I think Hunter needs some like serious one-on-one Eddie Smalls coaching on how to play Gary, because this is
Is Eddie Smalls is not the Badlads coach, is he? Eddie Smalls is on a team, I believe.
Eddie Smalls is definitely not on a team. I think he's a tad too high MMR to be on the team.
Eddie Smalls, free agent. Heard that here first.
He's just, I think he's like 2 or 3 MMR over the threshold that was set by Eri.
What was the threshold? What, 4,268?
Oh no, I guess you don't know that Eddie Smalls is like 7k.
Oh, I see. I see. I did not know that.
Eddie Smalls is near immortal, wasn't he?
I've
No, he
played
was
with him.
awesome.
I know he's good, but I didn't know he was 7k.
Well, after Glicko, he got ranked like he was playing ranked games against like top 2,000 immortals.
Yes, thank you, Kieran. Eddie, immortal carry player. Smalls is not on a team. I did not know this information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
could probably successfully rank up in like 1,000 MMR. Like, I could.
It was funny. It was like the first day of the new rank system comes out, and he gets instantly put against Smalls in his first game.
Yeah, I think it started like top like 1,000, and then eventually it's gone to like 2 or 3,000.
I'm about to hit legend.
Well, so I was quite proud of being Herald 5, but I reckon if I recalibrated now, my original rank when I first got ranked was
Road to
1.1k,
Ancient, Luke.
and I reckon I could come back.
Road to
in
Ancient, it is. Road to Ancient.
Oh, they're trying something bot lane.
And
Oh, and
it's-
NPR
something's
clicked himself.
working. Something's definitely happening.
Any ulti? Any ulti? Any ulti?
Yeah,
they got
Kxavic.
No ult. No, but like, fuck it. Just throw out your ult on anyone.
Just
You need to get a kill.
nothing. 0. He's silenced at the moment. And I think this is going to be a dead Rocket. Yeah?
Yeah.
No ult again.
And AIM has got the battery gold. The recipe's coming on the Cura, and like I said, it's gonna be like a 21-minute battle fury, which is
It's
just
a
sad.
21-minute level 10 for the AM as well. Taking the strength talent.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
To be fair, I think this round of talent's probably better most games. Like that's what I would take personally.
I feel bad watching this. Like, you know when you watch when you're on the motorway and you drive past a car crash and it's like, you know that you shouldn't slow down to look,
Well,
but you do.
I don't drive, so
Yeah, Pred's a non-driver. He's a weakling.
Radiant's middle tower is
no, I just I believe in socialism and public transport.
Yeah, he believes in urbanism, brother. No need to drive when you have good public transport.
It's all about driving, boys. It's all about driving.
Nah, you got car brains, you know, just
You are petrol pilled.
You know what? I'm kind of down to see you two. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Why
do it.
not?
Do it right now.
Well, yeah, drive.
I got my new car. You know, might
Get
as
in
well.
it. You might make it by the end of this game, mate.
Brum, brum. I'm in my mum's car.
I mean, how far away are you? You're like about like an hour away, aren't you?
From where you are, it's more like 3.
I'd
But
say
go off.
Southampton
Oh, yeah,
is
it's-
more than like an hour away from Essex. So yeah.
I'm not from fucking Southampton.
He's in. No,
Not
we are. We're in
Essex.
Southampton. That's what
I'm not
Predator's
from
talking about.
Essex.
Oh my god. He's in Ashford, which might as well be Essex.
No, the way he denied that sounds like the way someone who lived in Essex would deny it.
100%.
I mean, no, you're the opposite end of
100%.
Essex. Not opposite, yes, but yeah. It would take me 2 hours if I started now.
We should have started
Yeah.
while we were waiting for a player. We could have done this in person.
Should I just done a car stream?
Yeah.
On the way.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Like, Radiant could have a comeback here again.
Radiant are
but
standing
it's
around, but I think they're about to get pincered by DotA, maybe?
Kxavic
Just
down
dying.
to mid. Or car
Oh,
respecter.
that was a
Just
ult used on the Spectre, so I guess
this is going to be a
worse.
dead Necro. And are they going to chase the Darkseer?
See what?
Can we
No.
Okay.
Is the
what
answer.
can we have a Reaper Soap checker, please? Can we have a Reaper Soap?
zero.
No, there was no scythe used.
Yeah.
Absolutely
What I
nothing
would-
done.
What I think should be picked up here on the Necro is a casual cloak, because I'm guessing about 80 to 70% of the damage they're taking is magical. Casual cloak.
Let's just follow this anti-mage for a little bit. Because I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, he's
they're
doing some
not
stacks in the
Joining the fights, they found the dire stacks, but it's a 21-minute Battle Fury into a 24-minute
Tier 2
Yasha,
tower bottom lane.
and then
Yeah.
just not even 24 minutes. It's probably going to be like 25, 26 for the Yasha.
Yeah, this AM is about. Do you mean how behind they are on their timings? Like,
This is
This
just
is the
like-
second tier 2 to fall now.
yeah,
They're just
about
pushing.
5 minutes behind on their timings. Because they should be. The Manda should be complete by now. And they've just got the Asher, so
Middle tower just got wrecked.
yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
this.
Oh, and his courier gonna get sniped. Okay, no,
This is so depressingly over.
yeah, like except if it goes super late, AM does have good core matchups, but I think you know, Dire just go Roche, go high ground. Actually, what Radiant should do here is all 5 of them go into the pit, do Roche, for the sole purpose of denying it from the Dire. They know the Dire's top, they should do that. Because they can't defend that tier 2, there's no point trying. What they should do is just take Roche, because that means that's one objective that the Dire can't take.
I just don't know. I just don't know how I feel. Like Radiant's draft,
Middle tower is under attack.
no ults already being used either. Like it's just not working. This lineup.
They shouldn't. These TPs at the top to the lane are bad because you're not going to stop them taking this tower. At most, all you're going to do is delay it slightly. At worst, you're just going to give them even more gold when they kill you. And Hunter again. He sees all the Die heroes. He knows they're on top. Look where he's farming. Like,
Yeah, like he could even push that tier 1 tower, couldn't he?
like if he was sitting like the the creep camp that's the one near the tier 1 tower, that's fine. Like you've pushed the wave when you're hitting that one. When the wave comes back, you hit it. Instead, he's farming way too defensively. Like it's not great.
But then I don't think he feels like he can push towers solo.
Well, I think he can because like
Or is he gonna TP up here into the stop the TP? Stops it again.
he should be pushing the wave in. Oh.
Mhm.
Okay, at least he dodged this stun from the ogre. that's one thing he's done. But yeah, just push the lane in. Push it like, oh. Oh, if he goes through the portal instead, okay, he's Gooming's cancelled it again. But yeah, he should. This is just painful to watch. Alright, Eddie, if you're watching this right now, after this game, tell your carry guy to push the waves in.
I think there does need to be a forced coach installed on this team. I appreciate the weight that Rocket has taken to manage, but I think they now need a head coach.
Well, they put Eddie Smalls.
Do they? Is he?
Yeah,
is
they
he
have
officially?
it. Yeah.
Rocket's
like
just
Eddie's-
doing management. Eddie Smalls is fulfilling that head coach kind of a role.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, Eddie Smalls is a very good carry player, almost as good as me at carry. You know, almost.
Almost as good as you. Pred, what's your MMR?
Well, you see, I didn't get massively glycoed, which is definitely the reason why I'm only Divine 3 and not a morsel.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, 200% actually. Oh, and his Mantis getting sniped in the turret. Oh,
Oh, jeez, Radiant's courier just got
that's
killed.
just wait, Hunter, what are you doing?
I'm seeing somebody saying that they're sandbagging for a lower bracket comeback story. Unfortunately, losing to get the first round, to get a better draft pick only works if you make it through to the playoffs here. Unfortunately, losing every single game in the group stage this year will get you sent away.
But then we're saying that, but then they also have the competition of. Actually, do they? 1 second.
From what I understand, they are presently 0-6, and at the
They
end
are.
of this, well, they're 0-7.
0-8. This will be 0-8 if they lose this.
Not.
But then they will be tied with maybe George Foreman and Grill, who haven't played their games this weekend yet at all.
I feel like George Foreman and Grill can
Come on,
take
Hunter,
at
you
least
get a
one
wave.
game somewhere.
You can hit
Yeah.
a wave, Hunter. Hunter, yes, he's doing it. He's hitting a wave. Done it.
It's quite sharp on the front.
Alright, no, he's not killing another wave. He's killed one wave. He's had enough waves today.
Yeah, that's it. That's just the one way for you. Ah, a fight.
Oh, ScienceWhizBen might be in
Honestly,
trouble here.
just this AM not be. This is a high ground defense, and the AM has decided I want to look at the tier 2 mid.
It's
Is quite simply criminal.
They got ScienceWhizBen though.
They did. They
Maybe
did get 2
Akara?
kills, but they have spent
Akara's
2
backing up.
buybacks to do it.
Alright, come on. You continue back, Hunter. Or actually, no, Hunter might intercept them.
Might kill away, yeah.
Come on, Hunter.
Ooh.
Come on, Hunter.
Here
you
we
can do
go.
this. You can do this, Hunter.
And
Oh.
this is a dead hunter.
That's a dead AM.
I don't actually know what else there is to say about this game apart from
Destroyed.
Oh, Kara might be dead here. Bird's got it. Bird's got her.
700 gold.
like there's no. Let's look at this.
Well,
It's
actually,
slightly
that will
tipped
be,
in the
like,
favour of Badlads
more
here,
like a
but
1,000 on Bird because of the split gold too.
it's about a 40% gold lead to Hot for Dota, 20% XP. The game reckons there's a 90% chance that they win. I reckon there's a 100% chance that they win at this point.
Yeah.
What is left for them to? What's left for Badlads to? I've asked this earlier in the game.
I think.
How do they get back into it here? Because
Well,
I
I
don't
think what
see
needs
it.
to happen is 2 or 3 more failed high ground pushes, and Hunter getting the kills.
But the problem is Hunter didn't get kills. He got killed.
Yeah. Well, they got at least the first 3 precise stack.
Hunter is 0-4-1.
Yeah,
He
but-
does have 251 lost hits, which
No,
is
don't kill the camp, Hunter. Kill the wave. You killed the camp was.
And he missed the flag creep again.
Oh.
you can go back to the camp. It'll still be there. In
So
fact,
I'm
he is
gonna say,
going back to the camp instead of. To be fair, Dawnbreaker's there, so we'll allow him
I
leaving the
feel
lane.
I feel like Bird may have the bug that the flag creep doesn't show up. there is a bug in Dota, which means the flag creep doesn't show up. So that's what I'm going to give him earlier, that he didn't see it was a flag creep he didn't hit earlier on
It
in the
was just
game.
it was just a normal missed
There's a
last hit
bug.
instead.
Yeah. I'm saying it was a bug. He didn't know it was a flag creep.
Do you know what I'm hearing?
Excuses.
Excuses!
I'm making excuses.
You're
for
making
people.
excuses for them. No
Yes,
excuses. It's like when I have a shift at 12 o'clock and I walk through the door at 12 o'clock and my boss says, "Why are you late?" All he hears is excuses.
Well, if your shift starts at 12, you get no 12. I don't see
So, yeah, to be fair, I'm salaried so I can get away with it, but...
You see, like, my shift starts at 9 and I can get out of bed today until 9:08.
Mate, I don't blame you. If I could get away with it, I would.
I'm just thinking, if, you know, they're too understaffed to fire me, I can do what I want.
What's worse, missing a last hit or not casting a spell? It depends.
Not casting
Are
a
you
spell,
farming a
okay.
camp next to a wave and you miss the flag creep last hit? Or are you in the middle of a team fight?
Well, actually, Hunter's closing up the gap with Tara now. He's got the Battle Fury, so the Battle Fury is finally starting to pay off.
Dawnbreaker and Necro having a face-off at the bottom stairs, but the rest of Too Hot for Dota looked at mid and decided they want to walk up top, running into Bird and the Bramble Maze, but not caring at all. Spectre just hitting the tower, playing some objective-based gaming. Big vacuum, big fear, huge drop,
geez,
but there's an
INPR.
Ice Puff and a Micropire down.
BKB used.
Oh man, get up on out of here, cause Radiant just fortified their structures. Regeneration.
Oh, Rucketman's. So far, this is a very nothing fight, but we see Rocket dying at the bottom of the stairs.
And
ScienceWhizBen is looking to walk away, but wants to re-engage. He wants to press those buttons.
Hunter's just not doing anything.
Going on Kxavic. Kxavic is just deleted from the game if you saw how quickly that health bar disappeared.
I feel like if
Backdoor
Hunter
protection.
had
What
back,
backdoor
they might
protection?
have been able to kill ScienceWhizBen there. But he's just... He's got fucking gold too. He's not spending his money again this game. Ooh.
This game's close from being over. You're right, Jonas. It's been close from being over for the last, I would say, 15 minutes.
No lanes went well. Just they're done.
This game is very close to being over, I would say, because Hunter is 19 and has a Battle Fury and a Manta, 4,500 gold, and nothing queued. He knows it's over. At this point, he's just building money.
No, Scotty, I don't know if that's even the item. To be fair, it's hard to say what item is this game on AM, but...
Oh, Dawn did die, but they did also take a Rax, so... I'd say it was worth it.
Okay.
Let's look at the last hits again. Hunter has 328 last hits. The next closest is Dawnbreaker with
He has just gone through the portal.
264.
Alright.
I hope they
Is he
know.
gonna do a play?
I
Okay.
hope they see him. I want
I
them
think
to see
I
him.
want Hunter to try and go for a kill.
They've seen him. I swear they've seen him. They have to have. They know.
No, they don't.
They don't know.
Hunter might have sort of seen.
Oh.
Now they know. Run, Hunter, run!
He can just blink TP.
He is just blink TPing, but it's not going to work. Oh, Hunter finally bought an item. What did he buy?
He's got a Scotty.
Buying Scotty, yeah.
He's
makes him
just
tankier.
buying an entire Scotty.
I think he's supposed to be doing that or Basher, I guess.
Why not just go Rapier?
Rapier,
Unironically,
like,
when do you just go Rapier?
to be fair, you'd get Rapier if you just want to push the lanes in as fast as possible, and it could work versus the Dire's lineup with their lack of lockdown at the moment. But then if like
you shove a lane in with Rapier, you TP back.
Well, you don't want to TP back. You want to shove a lane in, blink to like the next lane, and do something like that. Because realistically, AM they don't actually have any catch for AM at the moment, so AM can just do what they want.
Although, Too Hot for Dota continue to understand the presence of Roche and its importance in the game.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, yeah, just the fact that they've done Roche multiple times in both games and Badlads didn't, that's the only reason Too Hot for Dota won. That's the only reason. Let's go with that.
I wouldn't say that's the
No,
only
it's not,
reason.
but I just want Badlads to feel better about themselves. You know?
I feel like there needs to be some constructive feedback this game. Like, we've been highlighting Hunter a lot, but obviously, like, the others have been not doing great as well. But Hunter's is the most
I think his lack of
obvious.
presence has significantly contributed to
I'd say
a number of their high ground defense issues.
It is the largest and the most obvious one, but it's not the only problem they've had. Like the non-spellcasters like Rucketman, and like I said, not buying a casual cloak, I think is a massive mistake this game on Necro, because like he is probably taking like half his damage from Zeus all match casual cloak. It does provide so much value.
Jeez, Radiant's middle tower just got wrecked.
It's just
They're not doing anything here. Like, they've decided to engage now. Zeus ult comes out. Was that?
Refresher.
That was Refresher Shard, wasn't it?
No, Refresher Orb, he's got one in his back. Sorry.
No, I think that was the Shard.
well, back on CM and Dawn
No,
and the
you can't have Refresher Shard and Refresher Orb. They
Oh, he does have an orb.
Shard.
Okay, sorry. I didn't realise he had the orb.
yeah.
It's that huge cooldown that I'm just blanking out in my vision.
Alright, Hunter's gonna try and get a kill on ScienceWhizBen here, and he's got it.
He has! He's pulled it off!
Oh,
He's
And
shown up to a
Kara
fight,
died?
clicked heroes and cast spells. Yes,
that's
but they are
Aegis, though.
ignoring the fact that that's the Aegis. Vacuum to
That's
pull
fine.
out and
Rocket's
the
got Scythe kill.
Scepter, Scythe, yeah.
Alright, now Kara should just TP with his BKB, but instead it's gonna kill CM and then die afterwards.
I can't
now
believe
rooted.
that Badlads
Kara's gonna die.
finally won a fight.
Okay, and they keep the melee rack, so I think... say
That was 2 buybacks. That was 2 buybacks.
Yeah.
That was all.
Say it happens 2 or 3
And that was a
more times.
6k.
Come on, Hunter.
Swing.
Come on, Hunter. Join them in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Join them in the... No.
That's
No.
Hunter likes his neutral creeps.
That was a 6k.
Hunter,
gold
you have
swing.
another 30 seconds with no heroes that matter. You could take at least 2 towers.
That was insanely a gold swing.
The comeback...
It might be on. AM might be doing
The
it.
comeback could have been real, but then... 2 of the heroes, sorry, because one was dead. 2 of the heroes walked away, and only 2 decided that they wanted to actually, you know, press
Rocket
the
and
advantage.
Bird need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Okay, there's a haste rune, that'll help get out.
Dear Hunter, it's an objective-based game.
Pick up. He missed the tier 4. He didn't pick up the tier 4.
Oh no,
Oh, you can't...
Eddie, I plead with you. Eddie, are you still here? Are you still in chat?
Alright. Well, I don't think he is, because I've been, you know, doing some mild memes, and he's not responded in chat.
He was
Yeah,
here
yeah.
briefly.
I'll do an Art of War quote, because he doesn't like those. I'm just going to open up to a random page.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah.
He no.
An entire enemy army can be demoralized, and its command can be made to lose heart. That was the
Blindness
perfect
is
quote.
not
Eddie.
an MMR diff.
Eddie, I'm sending you a screenshot. Alright.
Blindness is not an MMR difference, but
Oh,
understanding
is ScienceWhizBen gonna
when
find
to
it?
stop
ScienceWhizBen's gonna
hitting
find the
creeps until 400
Oh,
last
Sci-
hits.
ScienceWhizBen found the token, and he's using it. Oh. Eddie, I believe in you. You're the second best carry in the Discord after me. You can like.
Where does
Okay,
Plague fit into this ranking?
Eddie, Plague's third, or maybe even fourth. Plague's trash, you know. But okay, Eddie, here's what I've done for my team. I got them to watch the "Make a Man Out of You" thing from Mulan. Get Hunter to
AM
watch
is
that.
almost top net worth because AM has 405 last hits and has spent the last 20 minutes hitting neutral creeps and almost nothing else apart from a single fight.
Yeah. Like I said, Eddie, get your team to watch "Let's Make a Man Out of You" from Mulan, and then say that you're going to do that to them, and they'll be inspired, and then teach them to be good at Dota is the third step. All right, Eddie, you got to tell Hunter to just kill the waves, and not the camps.
So this is going to be them going in here. Macropire down. The Chode is
I also
down.
not think creeps is a bad.
The Chode has been put down, gentlemen.
I'm just going to continue following Hunter because I'm so intrigued at what's going on here.
The mind of a goon explored.
Kara is actually killable here. Like if Rocket just casts his ult, that's dead Kara. Like I don't know why he's not doing it. Just Okay, that was a massive misplay by Rocket there. He actually could have just killed
Oh,
Kara.
Ben nearly died.
Hunter
Ben
has
died.
decided he wants to kill ScienceWhizBen, is interested in Kara and NPR at the same time, but is just
He's gonna
getting
get
hit with
He blinks
everything.
on the spot. Oh, he blinks
Bird
on the spot.
protects him, takes the Dawnbreaker and the Spectre,
That's a team
and
wipe.
the
That
Jakiro.
is a team wipe.
Ah, yes, Hunter!
Okay, now let's look at the network graph after that.
Push the wave, please,
That is another
brother.
sick. That's an 8k swing.
And actually, if you have a look at the XP, that is now
In
Radiant
Badlads' favour.
and that's
only by
despite
2
Badlads
levels, but
fucking that
yes.
fight up massively, and they still win it because that was a massive misplay by Rocket because there was a half health. Like before the cheese usage, half health Spectre, and I don't know if Rocket knows
Apparently,
that.
crime
Scythe
does pay.
Yeah, I don't know if if Rocket knows that Scythe ignores dispersion, so he could have just killed a half health Spectre.
We also got no buyback on Kara.
Yeah.
No
But
buyback.
there is buyback on enough heroes to
I'm out. No.
dissuade
Not really.
Radiant if they're going to use it.
Okay, this is one lane. They can't go for more because they don't have the tier 2 to stop. But the game is on.
Game is on.
I
Oh, and the BM flag put down.
what a comeback!
Okay. Yeah, I think that what they're doing wrong there is the supports. One of them needs to be standing next to ScienceWhizBen, ready to save him once he gets blinked on. Like, I think probably that's what Zoey is doing with the Killing Me Cape 4 stuff. As soon as aim blinks them, just do that. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not sure if, like I said, Rocket knows that the reason Necro is a counter to Spectre is because of Reaper Scythe ignoring dispersion. So if you see a half health Spectre, you can just kill him.
This is okay. Let's look at. Kara's got some items.
Okay, and that is.
So Roche is up. Roche is up. So they're going to go for Roche again, Diarers.
Yep. I think that the reason that push failed is because they didn't have the Roach, but yeah, its heart's almost done on the Rucketman, and Hunter's got enough gold for the start of a new item too. Oh, he's got the ally counter spell.
Let's have a quick look at items. Let's see who's got what.
And who is missing a tier 4 neutral because
Because of a second. Hunter.
Okay, so
Bird is missing
the
the tier
Dark
4
Willow
neutral.
does in fact have a Lotus Orb. That's our notable pickup there.
Oh, they smoked. They're going to come up
Pipe
to this
and
Roshan.
Shivas on
It's too late
Darkseer.
Too
along
late,
with
but
a
they might go in.
second Shivers on the Necro. We are moving up towards this Roche. They know
They're
it's been
backing off.
taken and they've decided to leave. Question mark.
That is the smarter call.
Question mark.
Let's spam this turd to pray for birds.
Oh, we are praying. I've got my Bible next to me here, brothers.
And I've got the Art of War next to me.
Spectre down bot lane on Rucketman.
Ooh, that's if only they had vision in other parts of the map, they would know that the other three heroes are not there.
Okay, and since that spike in the graph, it is now slowly starting to go back into the favour of the Dire.
It is leveling off ever so slightly.
So Cheese has got... Sakara has got Cheese, BKB, and Backpack. And of course the Aegis. Refresher Shard is on the Jakiro.
Okay,
and it's
Fred,
pure damage, so...
do you think the BKB in the backpack is the right call?
No.
What would you have backpacked instead
boots.
of the BKB?
The boots.
The boots or the diff blade?
I thought you would have upgraded your diff blade by now to Disperser.
Maybe. Well, I'd say you either do like the boots or the diff blades here.
Yeah.
Or the Manto Artist.
Ares confirming always boots.
Yeah.
Because you don't need them, really.
Yeah.
What are they giving you? 55 movement speed?
Do
Like-
you also think that... So, we're going for the full Abyssal after the Basher. Where in this build order do you think the Ags fits? Or is it correct that we've not built the Ags yet?
I think they're going to go for Ags off of Roshan, like, Morog.
They're just looking to hit so many Roches that they get the free Scepter.
Yeah.
Okay, Zoey's starting to build. Oh, it's got at least queued up with the Ags, which would be quite nice against the Anti-Mage.
Anti-Mage with the full Abyssal and buyback available. Quietly crept into top of the net worth with 467 lost hits. However, still 4 deaths. So no deaths since we last checked.
Oh, and MPR's killing the mid-racks while they're doing stuff bot.
So they've
NPR,
decided... Oh, and the
Objective-based
wall!
Gaming. Oh, big wall here.
Kara!
Huge
Aegis gone.
ScienceWhizBen ult. Is that a dieback on the Dark Seal, or is it just a high level
That is a
death?
dieback.
Huge wall on the edge of the Macropire. MPR has decided to engage bot, while Hunter is going in, just simply taking massive damage. Are we going to see the guy back?
Hunter
Yes,
buyback.
buying back. Oh, this is not a good fight for the Radiant. They have really... They have counter-thrown. We are one single racks away from Mega Creeps in a second game for Too Hot for Dota.
I think the problem with that fight is Hunter, the other fights are winning, he went on ScienceWhizBen. This game,
It didn't kill him.
Well, and this last fight he didn't go on him at all.
And they are
Rocketman's
moving
getting
up,
gone on.
and they are looking at the Necro and Hunter. Please just click the racks. I never thought I would be cheering for Too Hot for Dota. Never in my heart.
And it's a
And that's
dieback
Rocket died on buyback.
now.
That
That's
is
dieback.
a
think that is a
dieback for
GG.
Hunter, and we're about to see a dieback for Rocket as well.
Rocket still has buyback.
Okay.
Kxavic fully charging out.
Kxavic with the BKB.
Rocket's also been silenced again.
I think if we
getting
see
dived
one
on.
more level for Kxavic, we will see him transition into his right-click CM build.
And that's the GG out of Badlads.
There we are.
It's all ogre.
About 20 minutes too late, but it is.
So, despite their best efforts, Too Hot for Dota still won the game.
Indeed. Wonderful. I have contacted the lead coaches for both teams and have agreements from both Commander Dirty and Eddie Smalls to do some post-match press. If I could have Commander Dirty to a voice channel, please, so he can be dragged in, and then after Commander Dirty, we will have Eddie Smalls. Who do we think the MVP for this game was?
MVP. That's hard because if they didn't throw it, it'd be a lot easier to select the MVP. But they did do a throw. But I'd still say probably NPR or maybe ScienceWhizBen again. Same as last game.
I think picking the two of those feels like the easy cop-out answer, but I do also feel like that is...
Yeah, and last game I did say Zoey was the MVP, and that's a support. So, you know, can't say I didn't pick a support.
Supports absolutely can be the MVP, but I do also I do think that the those two did the most there. Yes, wonderful. Can I have Commander Dirty dragged into here?
Probably
the reason NPR is MVP is because he got 420 last hits.
Oh, did he?
Last hits. He MVP 100%.
MVP NPR. No questions about it. No doubt. Absolutely not a single question. At Ari?
Ari might be watching the GF game.
Well, can someone in the chat just at Ari then? Just he loves it when you do that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He's just messaged and just link me when you're done. I want to be adopted. But Badlads did better that second game. Like it was a lot better.
Well,
it was just...
I don't know. I don't know if they did better. I think it was kind of a throw by Too Hot for Dota instead of their Badlads doing better. Because for the longest time, like
hello, Commander Dirty.
Hello, Commander Dirty. So you've gone 2-0 in another series. How does that feel?
It's feeling good, I must say. I think we started off well in both games. I think it's one of these things, right, where I'm very worried about our potential throws in most of our game series. I think that's why I was ready to lose that game. I can't lie. I've already said to the guys I was ready to lose that game. But I'm surprised we even pulled through. So I'm happy with the result. It's been good to see. And I think they are playing well. It's just need to work out how to close these games. That's the way it's going.
So we saw almost an almost throw at the end of that second game.
Yes.
Were you worried at all?
I was shitting myself in the easiest way of putting it. Yeah, I honestly, I truly thought we lost. I thought there was like AM would kind of just clean up house in the last fight, and that was about it. It's good to come through with the win. I think we probably could have closed that game out about 20 minutes ago. We could have had a nice early break, but otherwise, we came through.
I don't think you could have closed it out, but I think you comfortably had the upper hand about 20 minutes earlier.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you... How do you feel about the drafts from your team? It's both of these games were won in the draft, I would say. Is that the leading factor, or is the quality of the players what has helped contribute towards your successful record so far? As we spoke about right at the top of this series, Too Hot for Dota is currently a winning team across the last 3 months, according to DotaBuff. You're a winning team. You have with these two series now across the last 3 months, you have won 5 out of 6 games. How is the team cohesion? Is it something that contributes, or is it all on Zoey's shoulders as the drafter?
I think we have a good all-inclusive work for the draft. It's definitely not, I think, one single player. We all come together to make a draft happen. It works quite well. I think we all got very positive going into sort of the draft. At the end of the day, the games are won based on the mental attitude of the team, and I think they work out really well for it. We have a good time with it. It's looking to have fun with it, if anything.
Wonderful, fantastic.
So we play for the draft, but the draft I think we've been coming up with some good drafts, some acceptable drafts for what their players are and what we would probably expect from ourselves and from themselves. As much as we might be guessing 9 times out of 10, I think we hit the angles.
Just a quick reminder to those watching that if you have any questions for the coaches, the managers, please pop them into the chat. If we agree that we would love to find out the answers, we shall ask them. You talk about how you have some fantastic drafts coming through. Are you concerned that you're showing your hand too early, or is there a trick or two up the sleeves coming for later
is there
in the
more to
group
come in the
stages?
playoff? Yeah.
I don't think we've shown much of our hand, and I'll probably leave it at that.
Indeed. So we named Zoey MVP from the first game. We flitted about with a few people. We named NPR in the second game purely for meme reasons. However, we do think NPR and ScienceWhizBen did a lot of the heavy lifting in that game. Do you have a personal standout player whose performance you would like to recognise from either team? I know that you will have a strong bias towards your own, especially given that they have won.
Absolutely.
2-0.
Yeah, I think honestly, I've got to shout out Zoey for game 1 line. I think that was it properly came towards what we wanted from the line to be everywhere, and that's what we kind of want from that kind of play on that sort of hero when we pick it. It does a lot, I think, for the team overall, especially when we rotate the support. Honestly, I was impressed with a lot of Badlads. I'm going to give the praise because, you walk into a series looking at a team at 06, you're thinking, we're going to walk this.
Should be a walk in the park, yeah.
Absolutely, right? But at the end of the day, I think as much as, because I watched it, as much as Hunter farmed his ass off until next game, he still came out with the goods, I think, especially in game 2. So you've got to give the props there to at least.
The throw into the
Yeah, I think we got to give respect to the fact that he actually decided to keep farming. I mean, at the end of the day, he could have easily just joined Fires way early, but he stuck to it.
Fantastic. Just speaking to one of our producers now, I believe we have Eddie Smalls on the way, so we've got time for one more quick one from you. Who's your next opponent? Can you just remind us, and how do you feel going into that series specifically?
We've got Team Spherical.
We've
got Team Spherical on Sunday. I really enjoy watching Team Spherical. I think they're a super strong team in this tournament at the moment. I think they've got a lot of good ideas, and they play super DotA. It's going to be interesting. We played them before. We played a small scrim against them, and we had a good time with that. So we've got some good ideas.
If you're comfortable revealing, how did that scrim go?
It was 1 apiece.
1 apiece. Do you think have you had a chance to watch any of their series from the last few days?
Yeah, I must say, if there's a second team I've got, it's Spherical. Definitely. I really enjoy what they do. And I think they bring a lot to the table with what they do and what they draft and how they play as a whole. So I'm really looking forward to playing them. But I think, going in, if we go in with the same confidence as we did in our last few series, I think we could easily take the tour.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your time. We'll let you step away. Again, I understand we have Eddie Smalls away, so we'll let you step away before he drops in here with us.
Thank you for joining us.
Awesome. Perfect, guys. Thank you very much.
No, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for the series.
Cheers. Take care.
Cheers. Bye now. Wonderful. Again, to one of our producers, if we could have Eddie Smalls into...
Yeah, get him in here.
Here at the desk, live from the mid lane.
Don't let him know, just abduct him, if you could. No warning whatsoever to him. Drag him in here.
Once more, I would like to put some shout-outs and some thank yous to those who have followed the channel. We have Elsis19, a name beginning with C that looks like it starts with Clav, and then Moist Goblin. What a fantastic username, Moist Goblin.
That's how I like my goblins.
Oh god.
Wouldn't have it any other way. You know me.
Yeah.
So,
The dry goblin's a bad goblin, if you ask me.
Pred, you led the call on both MVPs there for Zoey
Yeah.
in the first game, and then almost jointly ScienceWhizBen and NPR in the second game, but NPR
But then-
successfully memed on us.
420 last hits, baby.
You
beat
can't
that.
deny the magnetism of it.
Can't deny that.
So, while those were your MVPs, do you have an LVP, or shall we speak to LDC about an LVP?
I do have an LVP, but I feel like I don't want to be bullying, but it's Hunter.
Is this because of the last hit?
I would
Because
agree.
of the camps?
Well,
I
I
would
think
agree.
With
but
me, I'm just
there
saying
was
that
significant
because
scope to have
yeah,
lessened. It's an LVP, but not due to a broad spectrum of decisions.
and also as
And a
the
lot of
best
that
carry
could have
player in the
lessened it.
Discords, it is a lot more noticeable when the carry players mess up to me. So, like, say the supports probably didn't help out too much to make it a hard game to carry. I don't play supports much, so I don't. Those might be making glaring mistakes, but they don't flare up to me. Whereas as the best carry player in the Discord, as everyone knows and agrees, carry plays just
Do
make mistakes.
we agree?
Yeah, Luke, you agree. Luke,
We want to get some more coaching.
I got a counter monster your name, alright? So
I mean, I've offered you some KFC as well, so
yeah. So yeah, you agree that I am the best carry. in the
Maybe.
Discord.
Speaking
Thank
of
you very
Pred
much, Luke.
earlier getting offered KFC, again, Pred is an MVP a VIP, an MVP VIP in the chat of this channel because he bought me a beer in the pub once. If you also would like to be a VIP, please buy me a beer. I accept Discord delivery gift cards and PayPal. DM me for the details.
don't.
You also accept beers if you didn't guess.
Well,
from the
yes,
beer.
but that's fantastic. I'm just receiving a message from Kxavic.
Also, Eri, get Eddie in. What are you doing, Eri?
Excellent. Yes. Can I? One of our producers, could we please have Eddie Smalls to the pitch side?
Yeah.
Pitch side.
None of them might
Desk.
not be listening. They might all be watching the red
make
game.
Sure
Can somebody at one of them, please, so that you don't have to see more of my cleavage? Unless you want to. Unless you want to.
At Eri.
Oh yeah, Sneakers.
No,
Acid.
Snoop, don't let him know. You just ducked him. Aliens.
He's,
don't
I
ask.
spoke to both of them during some of the boring bits of the previous game. They both agreed to post-game.
Alright.
So,
Let's go.
Eddie,
All day, get out of here.
thank you for
Shut
joining
up!
us.
Shut up, you.
Hey, don't bully my
What
co-caster,
are
Eddie.
It's
Please speak
consensual.
to us about your initial
okay.
reactions to that series.
My reaction to that series, it was hype. It was amazing. We were at one point, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it was 3-2-2.
Oh, we didn't. We're more focused on.
I saw your message
Yeah,
about
other
that,
stuff.
but I thought you just knew that you were on the downswing in that game.
No. It was actually 3-2-2, and I was hyped for it.
Can
Yeah,
we?
we missed it,
Can we
so-
talk about a neutral item, please? Did you have a go at Hunter now?
No, I literally
No.
think that matters barely. It doesn't matter. It's
The
like
reason why
kind of
you
sad.
lost.
Had
Reason why
that
you
game
doesn't really
been
matter.
closer, I think that neutral item would have
Yeah.
been more relevant.
So,
Sure.
also- another question. So, in Baldur's Gate 3, what is your favourite class to play?
I do not have Baldur's Gate 3, so I will say.
Wizard, obviously.
No,
I don't have it either, so just say wizard.
I will say Punchy Boy.
It's a
Okay.
monk.
It's
not
good respectable
exclusively
answer to that. Not cowards, because I don't respect cowards who just cast spells or shoot arrows at people. You want to get in there, and that's most the point. So Eddie Smalls, as the second best carry player in this squad, not the first, because that's me.
Of course, yep.
So, would you have any how are you going to coach your team to play
Actually
carry, and also play for the other players to enable their carry to carry the game too? It's not just carry for themselves.
Well, first I want to say Hunter's played, I think, a total of 20 games on the new map.
Okay,
Mhm.
fair enough.
So it's a return to form. So it's been a long time since he's played Dotes. So he's getting back into the rhythm of the new map and where to farm and stuff. Because he finds himself hitting 3 creep camps and then running out of places to farm because he doesn't know where he is.
Fair
And
enough. That was like that's fair enough because we did kind of notice it in the game. He was just
He was running back and forwards quite
instead
a
of
lot.
going one
it
away.
happens. It will improve. He knows where he needs to farm. It just needs to become like practice.
Also,
yeah.
that anti-mage pick, whose idea was that?
Right. So I wanted Sniper, and then they picked Spectre, and I was very sad because it was like a glorious Sniper game. They had no jump for him, and it was like
we wanted to see a Sven.
And yeah, it was just something like that.
We
instead of
wanted
just
to see a Sven in
Spectre.
both games, honestly.
the problem is we don't have a Sven player,
Aha.
and so
Get Rocket on
I
it.
then suggested Richard because
yes.
I thought Richard would be funny.
Yeah, Richard would have been funny. That's true.
And so I suggested Richard, but the lads didn't want Richard, so we went with Anti-Mage because I was like, right, if we're in the same situation as last game, we can just cut waves for 20 minutes and then we have a chance.
So speaking of both games as a whole, we mentioned it both in our press with the other coach and also while we were watching both. Both games were lost in the draft, we believe.
You're a fool.
There was a glimmer of hope in the back end of that second game. That first game, 100%, we believe, was lost in the draft.
What do you not like about it?
3 squishy heroes and PA second.
I
to
don't know why.
Bans.
Yeah, I just
we
don't know why
we had a lot
PV.
of questions about the way that you did things about that first draft, and we feel that your draft contributed significantly to your bad time.
A lot of it is like what the lads can play, right? So ideally,
as a hero puddle player myself, I understand this.
And as a fellow coach, I do understand sometimes you ask them what they can play, and the good heroes that'll be good there aren't there. So you're like, okay, it's like trying to bake a cake, but you don't have any flour. What can I use instead?
Like, I see Primal Beast and I go, oh, this is the perfect Invoker mid game. And then it's like, well, no one can play Invoker, so there's no point even suggesting it. And then I'm like, oh my god, this is such a good Morph game, but no one can play Morph. So it's like, you're playing with what you've got.
Yeah, because
we were sitting here.
With the first 2 picks and the bans in that first game, they were some of the most meta picks and bans broadly in the tournament.
Yeah.
And then you're telling us that actually it's more about fitting the picks and bans to the players rather than the players to the picks and bans.
That is true.
But we banned Nightstalker and OD, which are like 2 of their heroes.
So this is one thing I was talking about. We don't know why you banned the OD. We know Ben plays it a lot. Yes, I know Ben plays it, but you was picking 3 squishies.
Yeah.
Why didn't you ban the Primal?
Because we've got Roots and we've got Blink and we've got stuff.
Primal, I know Primal doesn't care, does care about them, but you're trusting your team to do it. You should have just banned the Primal. Like Primal can be like the thing is NPR can play it and ScienceWhizBen. That's eliminating 2 people playing it.
I don't think Primal was the problem. I think the loss in lane that meant that this outcad is Radiant so quick. I think the Radiance is the problem because Radiance is so much evasion we can't kill him. And I don't think the Primal is really an issue.
And would you also agree that Lae'zel is the most, underappreciated romance in
Stop talking
Baldur's
about
Gate
this.
3?
Again, reminder to the viewers at home, if you have anything you want to know from those doing press with us, just drop it in the chat.
Or
and we shall
any
do our
Baldur's
best.
Gate 3 questions, I can answer them for you
Just
too.
direct those straight to Pred's DMs, please. Eddie, in that second game, were you, after they picked, and without you banning it, were you concerned about the ScienceWhizBen Zeus?
No, we were banking on him picking it.
Is he that predictable?
Very.
Well, we picked it, so yeah.
We knew 4 of their heroes before the game started. Like, we knew what they were going to pick on 4 of their lads. And so it was only the Spectre that was surprising. Everything else we knew was coming with the bans. So it's like, yeah. Because they like, everyone has their signature heroes, right? We knew if we banned Nightstalker and like if we knew if we banned Night Stalker, the next follow up is either going to be Slardar or Dawnbreaker, and we know because they didn't ban Dawnbreaker, they were going to pick it because it's OP. So we knew Dawnbreaker was coming. We knew that Jakiro and Grim were coming because they picked them a lot, and it's like the classic Grimstroke counters Rockets Pango mid. And so originally we were thinking of picking Pango because they banned it the game before. And so it's like, oh, if they pick Grimstroke, then we can't play our Pango, which is why we think we pick that. And the Jakiro's a classic goon enjoyer. It's only really the Spectre that caught us off guard. I was really hoping he was gonna pick something like slightly less tanky, and then I could have got my lad to pick Sniper and
To be fair, that
So-
Spectre pick was a surprise to us
Indeed.
too, because Spectre isn't traditionally a good hero versus Darkseal, or especially Necro, so it did catch us off surprise.
Yeah.
So
Don't
we
also
It really
were-
surprised me when they banned PL before it, because it's
Yeah.
like it just felt weird.
So don't feel
So-
too bad for being a bad coach and not noticing.
So we were sitting here as well when we saw like I remember what it was. So how are you gonna feel about getting out of getting into playoffs if you get there? You got
Well,
yeah.
it's a
I
long
wanted
ride
to ask,
now.
Are you concerned about the form currently? Do you think
Yes.
the team has it in them to turn it around and qualify?
yeah, it's
And-
fixable stuff, but like we've gone over a lot of the mistakes they make, and they're quite common. They know what their mistakes are, and we've played games where they fix them. It seems to be when they're playing in these games without me like talking
High
to them,
pressure.
they
PCI
forget it,
matches.
and they return back to like default. And so the thing I've been doing before the game is I'll just chant the one big thing I want them to do. So this
Can we,
game, it was cut waves, so they did it, and it was like, okay, if I could just chant one thing at them, that might work.
Can we also see Rocket use ult, please?
Oh yeah, he knows.
So, in the first game, we nominated Zoey as MVP, and in the second game, we nominated NPR. Semi-jointly with
Interesting.
ScienceWhizBen, but NPR,
Well, NPR
did
had
get,
420 last
he
hits.
did get
so
420 last hits. We can't ignore that moment.
I would have given the Zoe MVP second game because of the Pog silences.
Is there?
Well,
is there any...
you say that. I wouldn't say the
there-
science of the Pog. I would say the not hitting the things.
Yes, okay, yeah,
Yes.
not saving your Manta as well to hit it. It depends. It's tit for tat, right? You either choose the good spell casting not counted as the MVP, or you pick something that's like more well played.
Is there, beyond like you say about you think it should have gone to Zoey in the second game, is there any player particularly on either team who you think had moments or broadly you feel like their play should be highlighted? I understand that you will have a preference and a bias to the players on Badlads. Who do you think really we should be lifting up and looking at what they've done more specifically?
That's a tricky question.
You may agree with our MVPs. You may think that some of the players that we've highlighted play fantastically. Or is there somebody who you think what they've contributed is what has allowed those MVPs to really shine?
I don't think any individual play was like super cool on their team. I think they just played well together, which is like I don't think any individual on Too Hot for Dota was like
team. Let's be
super
clear.
cool.
You can shout out any player on either team that you feel has performed particularly well in this series.
What in comparison to normal or as Dota, like as just
Broadly.
is? Yeah.
Who do you think we should be celebrating in their performance in this series?
I'm celebrating Hunter for going from one game to the next being like near bottom of the net worth to top of the net worth and delaying the game for 25 minutes and almost getting the lads back in it. He did also kind of lose them the game, but he also got it to a point where they almost won the game.
He
it's
did.
tricky.
We would have loved to seen him join more fights ever so slightly earlier.
Yeah,
His
it would have been
so
nice.
we have got a question.
Non-impact in some of those fights was concerning.
We have gotten a question from the audience.
Yes, we
Snoog's
have.
question.
I think wasn't it already answered, or am I just
Do we know about the chant? Getting to chant. Did you get him to chant your like what you tell them when you're drafting for them?
No, because while we're drafting, I'm generally like talking about sort of items, how to like what kind of a fight is a good fight, and that kind of thing. But I'll chant it as I'm about to have to disconnect, and hopefully it's the last thing they hear, and then I leave.
One more on that sort of a note. Speaking of the players and how they feel and what they know about what you're passing on to them, do the players know? Well, Bird specifically. Does he know that we are spamming this turd?
He does, and he appreciates it. Jesper also wants to spam this man to sabotage someone. I can't remember what I was. Spam these men to sabotage Ben. We want to see more of them.
Unfortunately, there was no sabotage going on. Much as we may
And
have.
Actually, another question: is "Sabotage" your favourite song from the Beastie Boys, or do you have another one you prefer over it?
Let me just Google the Beastie Boys real quick.
I will say "Sabotage" is up there for me personally. What You Want is also a fantastic one, but the entire brand new EP, the EP Brand New by the Beastie Boys, I find is personally exceptional, especially with how aggressively it comes in on that initial title track.
So we should probably start wrapping up now.
I'm just going to say, I just Googled Beastie Boys and the top 8 songs were out before I was born, so that's my comment.
Well, you are still a growing boy, so that makes sense. And what else was I going to say? I had some good stuff thought up, but then the Sabotage Rift, it's kind of lost me.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I believe we've got time for one or two more questions before we have to wrap up our broadcast.
What's your favourite geometric shape? I like rhombuses personally.
Circle.
We are.
Oh, you like Team Circle then?
It's either Circle or Hestigans are the Bestigans.
Hestigans
rhombus.
Are the Bestigans. That is true. Well,
I think that's it.
We'll ask you the same final question that we asked our other coach that joined us this evening. Could you please remind us who your next series is against?
I don't know. I get told.
I see.
I'm not managing. I just coach.
In which case, is there any team in particular who you are concerned to be facing, or any team who you are looking forward to face? One who you potentially are particularly hopeful in your chances against?
I think Mancaf's in our group, if I remember correctly.
They are your last game.
Yeah, they're the last lads to be scared of, I think. And the other ones are excitement to get a dub on the board.
So you've got Stinky Holy Warriors.
Are you looking forward for a dub as a series, or just not being 0 and something in games? Is that
it would be nice to not be 0 and something?
Or wouldn't it just?
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for dropping in.
out.
I would like to thank all of you for stopping in to watch us. I would like to thank the players as well for such an exciting series. Once again, thank you to those who have followed this evening. You've all had your names read aloud. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you to Pred and Luke. Sorry, let me do that again. Thank you to Pred and Luke who have joined me for this cast this evening, provided some fantastic insight and also helped fill out some of our understanding. And once again, thank you to you, the viewer, who tunes in to make it worthwhile for every single one of us here. I know Luke is.
There's somebody you're forgetting, though.
I am. Sorry. Thank you, Ice Frog, for balancing this game the way that you have.
Do you know you've forgotten? You've forgotten Sun Tzu.
Ah, you're right. I have forgotten Sun Tzu and his eternal.
With his Art of War.
His Art of War, indeed. No,
lovely copy here. It can be yours for the cheap price of £127.38.
Is that the current price it's going for on Amazon?
No, it's like 3 times what I paid for it. You know, gotta mark it up. Wonderful. Get that dollar.
No, but thank you to you, the viewer, who, while I know Luke is in the union and Pred and I are not, thank you for stopping in for making this worthwhile, for making our silly joke about being here in the mid lane with a desk that I stole from a picture of the CBS News, the CBS coverage of the Champions League. It was the best one I could find. But again, most of all, as mentioned in the chat, thanks to Eri and to Nutkin for helping to organise this. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.